I saw the sit-down face-off between Ryan Rozicki and Chris Billamsmith, and I really enjoyed that. Just the small clip that I got to watch. Um, it was giving me it was giving me Frotch versus Groves vibes. Because you had one guy doing the tough guy thing. Like you could see that Ryan's a fun fighter to watch. So I don't say this as a knock on him, but he's doing the whole tough guy thing, the whole 100-yard stare and Chris is just so unbothered. Shout out to Chris Billum Smith. Cause he's just so unbothered. He's just sitting there smiling. He's like, because Ryan said that, oh, well, what he's gonna do? His coach is gonna tell him to move and punch. His coach is gonna tell him to box. And Chris is like, no, no, that's not the plan. And that's not what I've been told. And I picked you. They gave me a couple of names and I picked you. And then Ryan is still doing the tough guy thing. Like he's still being, super tough. 100-yard stare. Well, it's great. It's just too good to be true. It's hard to believe. It's like, Chris is a fighter. Chris is not a guy who's going to get nervous because you look at him hard or because you sneeze at him hard. And he's been in there with a lot of good fighters. Tommy McCarthy, Lawrence Okoli. He was in there with Zerto. He was in there with fucking guy Matthias Masternak. Um Richard Riakpor 2 times. He's been in there with guys who punch hard, and he's been in there with guys who have a lot of fights. So he's not going to clam up because you look at it hard. And I love that exchange, man. I love that exchange. I'm glad that Sky is back in boxing because they're the ones that did that. Even though it's Zuffa that is promoting the show, that was a Sky thing to have Johnny Nelson or somebody else sit with the boys and have them, tension. What do you got to say? What does he got to say? That's very much a Sky Sports thing, and that harkens back to the days of HBO also. Um, and yeah, it was great, man. And I don't even know who to edge for that fight because Chris Billum Smith is aloof and he's unfazed, that doesn't mean that when the bell rings, he's gonna win. You know what I mean? What it do, Killer B? What it do, Kenny Mac 5? What it do, Trey? What it do, MW2? We out here, Kimikaze. Oh yeah, I've been on the Benavidez tip, Kimikaze, and the metrics for that have actually been pretty good, pretty good. In terms of it's not just views, it's what do the commercials pay, and I can tell that that's very much become a hot button topic, Benavidez Opataya, because the ads are paying, they're paying pretty good. And it's because people want that fight. If you're somebody who watches this channel and you're a little bit ambivalent as to what you should feel, because you know that I'm always having a go at David Benavidez, so maybe you don't trust my perspective on it, and you see what other people are saying. Always remember this. This is all over a fight. This is all over a fight. Who's advocating for a fight and who's advocating against it? My argument is simple. Team Benavidez are telling people that we're not going to fight Jai Opataya now. We want to wait 2 years to do that. We're not going to do that now because we're going to fight Bivol. And that would be permissible if they were actually going to fight Bivol. I'm telling you, they're not. I've been telling you they're not. And you see what he's doing. Oh yeah, what about a catch weight of 190? Catch weight? What you mean catch weight? I thought you said you could get back down to light heavyweight, bro. And listen, that's going to be the story until that's not the story. I'm telling you, get ready. I'm telling you, get ready. That dude is not going back to light heavyweight. Everybody's, it's either you have no common sense or you pretend that you have no common sense, because a guy who walks around at 2 and change, who just fought as a cruiser and won 2 titles there, you think that guy's going to kill himself to get back down to light heavyweight? Why do you think he moved up in the first place? Listen to what he's telling you. I'm going to fight Bivol and I'm going to fight Better Beef, but before I do that, I'm going to go to cruiser. And then afterwards, I'm gonna drop down and fight them. No, no. But it makes it a bigger fight, Jules. What it do? Q, come on, Q. You gotta join me. Nobody click the link but Q, cause y'all be interrupting and talking over each other. Nobody click the link but Q. I ain't talked to mommy and Q in a minute. It's not complicated what I'm saying. Whether you think David wins or you think David loses, how is it a bad thing for me to tell you, dog, he's not gonna fight Bivol? If I'm the one that told you, yo, he not gonna fight none of them dudes. Zerto is next. I literally told y'all that 2 fucking years ago. I told y'all that, and I got the receipts. And I'm telling you, listen, he's not fighting Bivol. He's gonna ham it up. He's gonna make it sound good, and that's gonna be the story until that's not the story. Q, what it do? I didn't get to speak to you in a minute. Good to hear from you. First, I just want to ask you. Let's start with Benavidez and Zerto. Let's start with that. What were your thoughts about the fight going in, and what are your thoughts afterwards?
Going into the fight, I was expecting that Benavidez should win. I did not think it would go as one sided as the fight turned out to be. But I think the biggest thing I noticed was that Zerto's game plan or his path to victory was completely shut off almost immediately.
Hmm.
I don't remember what round it was, but I think it was after the second round where Julian Chu is in the corner and they kind of pan over to the corner and he's like, we don't need to be doing this right now. You need to be back on the jab. You need to be back on the jab. And literally everything that Zerto has used in previous fights since moving up to cruiserweight, he completely just either forgot about or chose to ignore, which I thought was kind of crazy because he's not a power guy. And everybody that he's beaten at cruiserweight, it's been because of his boxing and his movement. But it was before he even really got hurt. It was almost like he was trying to prove something, like his ego got in the way. That's kind of what I thought that it was. Like he got hyped up by the moment, and it's like, okay, well, it's Mexico versus Mexican American, and this is my first big time on a big stage. Like I need to prove that I can stay here, and his game plan just went out the window, and it played right
Yeah.
into what Benavidez wanted. I mean, Benavidez doesn't really like to have to move around the ring too much to find you. And with guys that do a lot of movement, it takes him a little bit longer to catch up to him. And he really just brought the fight to an end a lot sooner than I expected.
Are you impressed?
I mean, to a certain extent, I guess I have to be impressed to a certain extent because he stopped a guy that hasn't been stopped. He knocked down a guy that hasn't been knocked down. But the familiarity of knowing him, the there was no feel out rounds. That's really what feel out rounds are. They're just sparring sessions in front of everybody. It's like, all right, like let me see what this dude got. Let me see what his speed is like. Let me see what his timing is like. Let me see how hard he hits. And like Benavidez didn't have to do any of that because of the fact that they're so familiar with each other. And I just think that Zerto kind of came into the fight with a little bit too much nicety in his temperament, like shaking hands, hugging the dude. And it's like, bro, you know that this dude is trying to kill you, right? Like you know that this dude is he's trying to get rid of you, and you over here dapping him up and smiling and thanking him and all. And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, come on, bro. That's not the mindset that you're supposed to have. Now, obviously Benavidez was doing some of that too, but from Benavidez's perspective, he's doing that because he's like, thank you. This is an easy lick. Like, thank you for taking this fight because I bought myself a little bit more time from maybe having to take some of the other fights that I'm sure we're gonna get into. But I'm not super impressed outside of the fact that he did stop a guy that has shown to be pretty sturdy. And I mean, effectively, I mean, he made the guy quit because it wasn't like he knocked
Yeah.
him cold or he was unconscious or he lost his balance from an equilibrium shot. Like he made Zerto say, no mas, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can say that I'm gonna be I'm gonna be petty. I'm gonna be a bitch so that nobody else has to be. I'll make that sacrifice. That it was the elbows. It was the elbows.
Okay,
By
I have to
now,
watch that. I haven't seen any
I,
clips on it, but I need to see that to see it real close because I only watched it live. I haven't seen much of the replays other than
no,
just the little
no.
highlight clips.
You'll see, because when it happened in real time, I didn't even notice the elbows. It was too the vantage point didn't show the elbows, but the videos that are out now, you'll see, and yeah, like it's beyond reproach. It was the elbows, and
Really? Okay.
the way that Zerto, I mean, like you can see how he reacted. That no, it wasn't a punch. The guy looked like he got stung by a bee. The guy did like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Like he and he fell to his knees. When you see it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, it's on YouTube. When you get the chance to go look at it, that bro, it was the elbows. He got in with an elbow, then he brings the arm back and jaws him in the like you can see it clear as day. If you Google the still images of it, you can see it clear as day. It's the elbows, and I'm like, look, I'm not going to diminish the victory because of the elbows. I said it on Sunday. I said it yesterday in an episode of the relay, and I'll say it again. Zerto's not complaining. We're about 4 days out from the fight, and I haven't
Right.
heard Zerto or Julian Chua or Malik Scotch. I ain't heard nobody say nothing about, oh, we want to file an appeal because he elbowed our guy. I don't see
Right.
nobody complaining. So I'm not complaining. But when you see the footage, you cannot deny that, yeah, that not only did you hit him with like 3 elbows, it looks kind of deliberate. Like, bro, I mean, like, there's no way you didn't, like, come on, bro. You telling me because you shoe shining him, your elbow met his eye, then it met his jaw on, like, it's literally like that, like, bing, bing. It's like, it's pretty obvious. But that is why I think he stopped him. I do think it was, I absolutely, you see the way he reacted after the elbow made contact. He caught him with a punch. He caught him with a punch, but then the elbow got in. And when he goes, to take a knee, it's after the elbow gets in. He's like, like he looked like he got stung by a bee or something, or like he got hit with a dodgeball. It's like, yes, obvious it was the elbows. But I digress. Um, um, do you rate him on your pound for pound? Because just to preface, I do. I got him at number 8. Do you rate David Benvenuti on your pound for pound now?
Yeah, I think he definitely has earned the right to be in that top 10. I haven't done a new update of my own top 10 probably in about a month, maybe 2 months now. So I'm going to have to look at the last list I made and kind of just go through everybody's accolades and accomplishments. But the one thing I can say is that while Benavidez hasn't beaten the guy in any of the weights that he's fought at to this point, there's a strong argument that could be made that there's been some issues with getting the guy in the ring for whatever those reasons are. Now, obviously, he really just screwed that situation up. And I don't know if he even had the forethought to consider the fact that maybe Benavidez would have been an option for him had he been able to keep his belt. I really don't know. I hope he's getting the crazy money that he would have to get to have given up that belt
Now,
because I don't really,
Q. Let me ask you specifically about the Jai thing, because there's a lot of people out there that think it was a mistake, or at
mm,
least it's being framed. And we'll get into it. But before we do you believe it was a mistake for him to go to Zuffa? Now, bear in mind, let me just tell you the facts. I'm not trying to alter your opinion.
yeah,
The facts is that Matchroom didn't offer him a new deal.
that's
That's
true.
confirmed. They
Yeah,
didn't
that's true.
offer him a new deal, and that nobody else, not Golden Boy, not PBC, obviously. What are they going to do? What are they going to do with that guy? PBC, Golden Boy, Top Rank. No, none of the other major promoters offered him a deal. So that was the situation when the Matchroom deal ends. He goes to Zuffa. Now, in spite of that, do you believe that that was a mistake?
On the face of it, you have to say no because there were no other major promoters that were willing to put up the money or comparable money to probably what he's making with Zuffa. And also, I'm pretty sure that he was under the premise that he would be allowed to still do the Riaz season cards. He'd still be allowed to fight on some traditional boxing cards to retain his title until a large fight or a large opportunity came up. The issue is when you don't know the number, when you don't know what he was offered, like we don't know for a fact what kind of money is he making versus what would he have made to just fight on a Tasman Fighters card in Australia like he had been doing. Like if I know that number is, let's just say it's 600,000. Let's just say that's the number. But let's say
Hmm.
Zuffa has been offering him 2 or 3 million a fight. Well, no, of course it's not a bad deal. If he's getting 3 times what he was making before, and he's been waiting this whole time because people have to remember, CBS avoided him, Zerto avoided him. There's been countless. I mean, McKalian faced off with him, and they still haven't made that fight. So is he avoiding him too? Like, there's all of these guys that could have fought him before we even get to David. That he probably wasn't even thinking David was an option because he's like, well, he's at 175, and he's in all these talks to try to fight better BF or Bivol. Why am I going to have to sit up here and wait for him to come up so I can fight him? So I get it from his perspective. I understand why he made the move. It's just tough because it's like, bro, like his only bargaining chip to get into the mainstream arguably could be gone. And there's going to be an argument to be made pretty soon by the other guys within the cruiserweight division soon
Well,
that,
Opatai still holds the ring, right?
Yeah,
correct,
he still
correct.
got the
Yeah,
yeah he
so
still got the ring,
there's
and
a
he's still
bargaining chip
lineal.
right there.
The argument is
Well,
going to be made pretty soon that he should be stripped of the Ring magazine title because he hasn't fought anybody in the top 10 since Breedis.
That's what I'm about to say. That's the
no,
point you
I'll
can
say
make to
this, fellas.
Benavidez. Go for it.
Let me say this, Jigglypuff. Let me say this, that it's honestly, we have a very purist view of boxing, and I respect that you brought up the Ring magazine title and lineal status as a bargaining chip, but the truth is that's not a bargaining chip because David doesn't care about that. I mean, he's never been lineal or Ring magazine in any division that he's fought, and that's not the bargaining chip. There is a bargaining chip though. It's just not that. It's Turkey. It's Turkey. The guy who you would want to pay for the Bivol fight. I mean, the Bivol fight in America is not, well, that I'm sorry to tell you that that's actually not a huge fight.
No, it's not.
Really. If you're just going off of market value and what the fight is projected to generate based on consumer statistics, well, then it wouldn't generate much. I think you'd be lucky to hit 3 with that fight. I would buy it. I would think it's an amazing fight, right? But just like I said about Saturday, and I actually gave the card its flowers, even though it's a PBC show. I thought it was a great card. I didn't have to buy it. In fairness, I know people. And
Ring
these are
IQ.
good
What was
people.
your favorite fight on the card?
My favorite was Munguia Resendiz. I like what I
Same.
saw from Munguia. I picked him to win, but he was a lot more aggressive than I thought he'd be because I figured he was going to be cautious, use the jab and box. That's how Eddie likes his fighters to fight. Eddie don't train artillery fighters, and he doesn't train them to fight that way. But that is how Munguia fought. He fought like an artillery fighter.
With a
And
mix
that was
of like flashes of like Canelo.
Yeah, because he did move lateral. He did use the perimeter of the ring. He did, show flashes of boxing, but he was more aggressive with his offense than I thought he was going to be. I didn't think he was going to go in there stringing 5-6 punches together for fear he might get clipped like he did in the Sriracha fight. But that was my favorite fight. And it was a
Same.
good card. But you see it that there's no numbers out, fellas. Do you think if that fight did 300,000, they wouldn't be shouting it from the fucking rooftops and calling everybody? It didn't do that. I don't
We
think
all know they shrunk down the ring size too and broke down the bottom rack. So like,
yeah, and they upgraded people's seats. They didn't even open the top part. Like you can see the gigantic curtains.
Yeah, there's a huge curtain up there.
I had people the night of the fight, the night of the fight that were there sending me pictures of the gigantic curtains. Like, bro, this is not a sellout. This is not a capacity crowd. It's not. People got their seats upgraded. And I'm saying
You want to
that,
know why? You want to know why that's a fact, though? You want to know why that's a fact? because not once during the entire telecast did I hear them say anything about a sellout. You know they're quick to do that. As soon as they get close to a sellout, they're going to mention, "Oh, we've got X amount of fans in here for a sellout." Blah 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 blah. They didn't mention not one time about how many people bought tickets.
And they're not, and they're not going to, and we'll get to the other stuff, but to make a long story short, Benavidez versus Bivol by itself, and your commercial value by itself is not. I'm sorry, like I would like for there to be a guy in America who can pull some fucking people to a fight. I would like that, but you're not that guy. And you versus Bivol is a fight for the hardcores. Yeah, it's a decent sized fight in boxing, but for the money that you would want for it, right? The bargaining chip, it's not Bivol, it's not his belts, it's Turkey. You need Turkey to pay for that fight. You want him to pay for that fight. If you even want to have it. I think you don't. But the only way it becomes this mega event is with Turkey's money, right? Well, the same applies to Jai because he would be the one paying for it. At this point, everybody's waiting for Turkey to finance their retirement fund. And the same bargaining chip that you'd have, well, the same guy, the same ace in the hole for Bivol is the same ace in the hole for Jai Opataya. The point being, David, nobody's asking you to go to Zuffa. Nobody is. Nobody's asking you to go fight at Paramount. Nobody's asking you to do that. You can fight Jai Opataya on a Ring Magazine card the same way you fought Anthony Yard. Nobody, they're trying to make this sides of the street argument, Q, and it's not. No one at any point asked you to fight for a Zuffa belt. Nobody expects you to. Zuffa belts are for Zuffa fighters. If you were to fight Jai and you beat him, I imagine that the Zuffa belt would go vacant and two other fighters in their ranks would fight for it, and Jai would have to work his way back up. It's an easy fix. But at no point did anyone say that David Benavidez needs to fight for the Zuffa belt. What we're seeing is the marginalization of Ring Magazine and lineal status, because I've never seen. No, I actually have once in the last 15 years. It's rare, but a lineal champion doesn't usually get disrespected like this. Rigo got disrespected, if you guys remember, at Super Bantamweight. Carl Frampton ducked him, Leo ducked him, Scott Quigg, yada yada yada. He got disrespected. And it's rare because the lineal is the man who beat the man. That's who Jai is. He's the man who beat the man. But now all of a sudden, Breed is saying shit. Jai didn't fight anybody. He literally has the Ring Magazine title. And yes, he hasn't fought a top 5 contender in a long time. Ask him why. Did
Exactly.
CBS want to fight him? Did Zerto want to fight him? Does David, okay, those guys, hey, they fucked off. Fuck those guys. Does David want to fight him? Because how are you going to strip him of the title based on the fighters who don't want to fight him? That doesn't make sense. You see? So to address, was it a mistake for him to go over there? I would say, no, I don't think it was a mistake. It gives him something to do in the interim, and him going over there is not the roadblock that the media is making it out to be. The reason the media are now treating him this way is because they want to castigate him for affiliating himself with Zuffa. That's what they want to do. They want to blackball him. They want to freeze him out because the narrative is that Zuffa is the enemy of boxing, the enemy of the boxer and the boxing fan, which I don't subscribe to. What say you, Q? And what's your thoughts on Zuffa, the Ali Act, the revival? I'm sure you've been hearing. Just general overview on that stuff.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with Zuffa doing their own thing. I mean, as long as it doesn't become a situation in which boxers don't have a choice about what belts they want to fight for. The guys that get signed by Zuffa, they know what they're signing up for. You're signing up for what would be in a lot of cases a consolidated silo, right? Where you're only going to get to fight in-house guys. And for a certain number of fighters, that's the right move. A perfect example is Edgar Berlanga. That's a perfect place for him to be because he knows he's not going to beat any of the elite guys at 168, but he can compete and probably beat some guys that might be within Zuffa's I mean, I don't know where he's going to fight. I mean, are they starting a 168 division now? All of a sudden, I guess
I
they're going to
mean,
have to because he said he's not moving up.
well, I think that there's a nuance to him. They're going to use him, and I don't even. I have my suspicions what the plan is because there's only so many fights you could put him in that are even worth making. That okay, you took the timeout to sign this fucking bum. Who the fuck can you put him in the ring with that people would actually watch the fight? And I have my
Hmm.
suspicions that well, Caleb Plant's not doing anything. He's not
Yeah,
doing anything.
that's a good fight.
Caleb, you offer if you offer Caleb the fight, and there's a lot to that. That okay, you offer Caleb the fight, but what does he have to sign to Zuffa? Are there strings attached? Yada yada yada. Is this a one-time thing where you use this as a main event, an anchor, and then you just have a bunch of Zuffa guys on the undercard?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like that? Because there's
Mhm.
ways that you can play it, and the inferences you can make all center around. Listen, I know that Dana doesn't know boxing that well. But you don't need to be Burt Sugar to know that Edgar Berlanga's a fucking bum. Bro, everybody knows he's a fucking he's a fucking bum, bro. This dude is a bum. So why the fuck would you sign a fucking bum? And it's like, well, you gotta use him for something. And I've been talking a lot about this, Q, that look, if PBC made Berlanga versus Plant, right? If they made that fight,
Mhm.
it wouldn't have the flair, it wouldn't have the appeal that it could have if Zuffa are the ones that do it. It's a blowjob from a girl you just met. It's just like that. Like, oh, it's a titty that you never saw before. Like, oh,
Mhm.
and you've seen titties. You've seen, like
Right.
you seen titty, but these are, it's like fake new. It's taking something that Plant versus Berlanga is an intriguing fight between two familiar fighters that the boxing community knows but doesn't necessarily have a high opinion of. So
Yeah,
if you
I
put that
think
fight together, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I think really what you're saying is that if PBC was to do that fight, it would be a co-main event. It's not going to headline any big
Or a
card. It's a
or
perfect
or
co-main event to a decent fight.
or if they did it, they would put it behind a paywall. You know that if they did it the way that they do things, they put fucking Fundora versus Zoo behind a paywall, bro.
Yeah.
Fundora
No.
Thurman. Between the
Yeah, it's
demands of
horrible, bro. It's so bad.
between the demands of Berlanga, the financial demands of Berlanga, and what the financial demands would be from Plant, it is absolutely a guarantee that if the PBC made that fight, oh, well, that's going to be a paper. It would have to be a pay-per-view. But if Zuffa can do it in a way where it's on Paramount Plus, and this is the only way it's worth doing, if you do it on Paramount Plus, no paywall, available to all 79 million of your subscribers,
It does a decent number.
it might move the needle because yeah, they'll
Yeah.
watch that shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll watch that shit.
because
Oh, it don't
because
cost
they're
no
gonna
money.
hype each other. They're gonna talk crap. They're gonna be in each other's face. They don't like each other already. So yeah, it's gonna draw something just off the fact that they're two talkers. That's the thing. American boxing fans love people that talk trash to each other and get in each other's face more so than they even do just actual matchups. So that would definitely pull in some interest. But I think when you're talking about that whole Zuffa thing, bro, ultimately I think that there's a place for certain fighters when it comes to going to Zuffa. I just am not subscribing to the idea that the entirety of boxing should be operated under the guise of which Zuffa is doing. I'm definitely like, nah, you have the option as a fighter, and having options is a good thing because when you get to a point where you can't compete at the elite level anymore, that's the perfect time to go over there. And that's what they're doing. They're signing all of these guys that are slightly over the hill or maybe just not good enough, like CBS. You can get Jai a CBS fight now. Like that's a good fight.
I mean, listen, they signed Brandon Ree, okay? Brandon
Yeah.
Ree and his 30 fucking fights of who the fuck are these people? Yo, listen, if you needed to know what the fuck is going on over there, they just signed Sergey Derevianchenko, the guy who lost to Jacobs and lost to Golovkin and lost to fucking Charlo and lost to Adames and lost to This is and as you said, and I said the same thing from the get. Zuffa is a great middle of the road place for middle of the road fighters.
Yeah.
That's a good place for them to go. And they can and we as consumers, we can actually benefit from that. That this is inexpensive boxing because if you in case you haven't noticed, there are 3 pay-per-views this month. One was on Saturday, one is this Saturday, and then there's another one at the end of the month. Okay, so if Zuffa can put together some fights that we can watch where we don't got to go in our pocket, that's a good thing.
I got one more question for you, and then I'm gonna have to get off. But bro, what's your thoughts on when is the next PBC card going to be? Because I don't think they're gonna have another one till September, bro. I don't think they're gonna have another one till September.
I think look, I'll be honest with you, man. I just don't see the ingredients over there to like the thing is their shamelessness opens a lot of doors because they're shameless. They'll put Isaac Cruz on a fucking pay-per-view and like they don't give a shit over there, bro. Like
if they do Isaac Cruz versus what's his name, the rematch on pay-per-view, I'm gonna lose it. If they do him versus Roach as a rematch on pay-per-view, oh my God. Nah,
I'm just
count
saying
me
that
out.
no. I mean, I know that it won't be that one because Roach is tied to the Williams Zepeda fight. But the basic idea is we tend to think of things as being too ridiculous to do, but then they do them. Fucking Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman, and technically, I mean, like it really isn't a PBC pay-per-view. In all honesty, it's actually a no limit show. But Spence versus Zoo would qualify, would fall under that umbrella because even though it's going to be a pay-per-view here, Q, just so you know, even though it's in Australia, it's going to be a pay-per-view here, that fight in July.
Yeah, I won't be buying that.
I'll see if the satellite is still working for that one. I don't know if it's going to work for that one because it's in fucking if my CIA can connect me for that one.
You gotta do recon on that one.
Yeah, because it's in hostile territory, but yeah, like it's just very hard to say how they will sustain. I mean, for a perspective, Q. David Morrell hasn't boxed on one of their fucking shows since the Benavidez fight. That guy's in space now. Like he's on
PBC fighters need to take more out of Morrell's book. You see what he doing? He hopping around. He was supposed to be on a Matchroom card. He on a Queensberry card. He been on 2 Riyadh season cards.
Now,
He trying to stay active. So I know that it can be done.
before you go, Q, interject on this. What is the media going to say, Jules, if the rumors come out that all these guys at 147 are signed there? Devin Haney, Tio, Shakur, they do a 3-4 fight deal. Is the media going to switch their tune on Zuffa and blackball the Americans?
Drew, I'm gonna be honest with you. They're cowards, and you have to understand that they're cowards. So whatever is shameless enough, they will do it. They're gonna say, "Oh, for sure." A lot of things aren't working. And bear in mind, Drew, that we're only 5 months into the new year, 5 months out from Zuffa's launch, and they're already putting people in a very strange position where they don't know what to say. The narrative is already changed. Oh, the fighters are gonna get jerked. They're gonna get screwed. The money. They just gave Conor Ben 15 million. What the fuck are you talking about?
Who the fuck gave Devin Haney 100 million?
Right? And think about it. Think common sense. If we have a lot of common sense on the panel. CBS would not have signed over there for a dick in the booty deal because that guy actually draws in the UK. EA's limited. He got B. Yeah. He draws in Bournemouth. So he wouldn't have signed up for no dick in the booty deal. You listen to the fighters like Brandon Glanton and the guys that are over there. Those fucking guys are happy. They're happy. They whatever money they getting over there, they happy. So it's not what you guys told us. Oh yeah, Dana's gonna come.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that offer was the best offer they had available to them, which probably was better than what they would have gotten otherwise. Because I mean, CBS left Boxer, and it doesn't seem like there was anybody else that would have been a suitor anyway. I mean, who else is really invested in the cruiserweight division in the UK?
Matchroom could have used them. Matchroom probably would have kept that because they do have a cruiserweight that they're bringing through. He looks pretty good. His name is Pat Brown.
Pat Brown, you talking about? Yeah, Pat Brown.
And you could kind of like, maybe 3 fights from now, Matchroom puts Pat Brown, but they weren't going to give CBS a deal. Eddie said it. We weren't going to make him an offer. He literally said it,
Right.
like he wasn't going to make him an offer. So
Right.
it's a good middle of the road place for middle of the road fighters.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm gonna say this, Drew, and don't start up with your fucking bullshit, Drew. I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking that Zuffa card a little more than that Matchroom show.
My
Jack
dick got
Mason.
hard.
Yo,
No, because
listen,
in all serious, Jules, you're gonna
they're
see
going head to head.
Kenobi.
Drew. Wait, they're going head to head, Drew. The day of Rozicki, Rozicki CBS. There's a Matchroom show that same day, but the problem is Dalton got injured, so now it's ho ass your fight
Yeah.
and a guy.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
can't
like,
really compare. You can't really compare two cards when the main event falls out. That's not really a fair
I know,
comparison.
but it is what it is, bro. What I'm gonna say, like, yo, that Rozicki, that shit. Listen, bro, that's gonna be a cruiserweight Gaddy versus Ward. Them two
It is.
guys don't know nothing about
It is.
defense. Like them dudes don't know nothing about defense.
But
CBS
we're gonna
couldn't get on a
see.
good foot if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jules, you're right. We're gonna see Kenobi, or we're gonna all them see switch up. The minute one of these Americans that they love to have access to signs a Zuffa, we're gonna see them all switch up.
yeah, because right now it's just castaways. Shout out to SSS. Did y'all see Jose Senior call Jai a shit talker, and that David says Jai? Yeah, I seen that. He said that Mill City Boxing, the man went. Yo, listen, look, respect the Mill City and respect the, because it's not his job to be combative with Jose. It's his job to give him a platform to say his shit, and he did that. But Jose, I can't listen. Like, I can feel the cortisol spike when that guy talk like that. That guy, he irritates me. And that he's allowed to carry on like this. You're saying that the Lineal Ring Magazine champion hasn't fought anyone when he literally did something that your son never did across 3 divisions, and that's beat the man to be the man. But now, because you beat a sparring partner, Jai didn't fight nobody, and he's got a glass jaw. I'll tell you what, Jose, go break it. He's got a glass jaw, right? Go break it.
Thank you.
Go break it. Fucking asshole. Listen, I hate Jose. I could strangle him, bro. I fucking hate him. No, I wouldn't strangle him, but he's a fucking asshole. He's a fucking asshole, and I don't like him. Shout out to motherfucking Luisito. Q sounds like he ate Drew and became
What is he talking about?
Yo, he smokes a lot of fucking weed, man. He smokes a lot of fucking weed. Oh, shout out to George. Yo, Jules, mentally, are you young Gen X or old Gen Y? I'm neither. I'm a millennial. I was born in 82. I'm a millennial. And I forgot how it works. Who comes
I think it
before?
cuts off after 97 or 98.
Yeah, but I'm a millennial, and I'm an old school millennial at that. Like I'm old school millennial, and the thing about us, which it's kind of mainstream, but it is kind of true. The earmark of millennials is being adaptable, because we've been under a great deal of stress the entirety of our lives. We've lived through generations where there was no internet, and the advent of the internet and the advent of streaming. We've dealt
The housing
with
market crash in 2008.
right? We've dealt with many major world events, that not just the pandemic, but 9/11. I had to deal with the blackout of the Eastern Seaboard. More than at least 2 blackouts in New York City. So we're adaptable. We're intelligent.
You had to witness Real Talk coming out as post-trans with a Shadow
That
Diddy.
was hard for me, and that was
Put up the
really
picture.
hard for me.
Cucumber Real Talk with the
Hold on, shout out to more. Subscribe, share. Now I got to do this for you guys. I got to do this. This has been weighing it heavy on my mind. Okay, you got to make a decision. You can only choose one. Go, left or right.
Right. Younger.
Yes.
And I'm choosing the left.
Drew?
She's crazier.
Okay, let's go to Devontae. Left or right?
Right.
Yeah, well, that didn't take long. These Styles, go ahead.
I'll take the right.
There we go. Damn.
But D Styles, I thought you're protecting the fighters.
You gotta protect the fighters, D Styles. Okay, now back to D Styles. Shout out to D Styles, a man after my own heart, who's probably one of the only content creators calling out the media just as much, if not more, than I am for the hypocrisy that you got Dan Canobio. You're basically trying to blackball Jai Opataya. You are.
Nah,
You're trying to punish him for signing to Zuffa as if he had a choice. Go ahead.
Fuck you,
Styles.
Drew.
because they're acting stupid, bro. And I'll tell you what, I think I can tell when a fighter gets some PR advice afterwards. Like the way Benavidez was talking about Jai at the post-fight press conference, and then he does the aerial interview, and then he does the interview on the Porter podcast. He's talking a little different all of a sudden. Almost like somebody told him, hey, no, say you do want to fight him, but that it can't happen at the moment because of politics. Like, don't, because he was saying some things that honestly just make him look like a hypocrite. He was saying Jai is in a pay-per-view star, nobody knows who he is. He was fighting in a little arena, like things that apply to like all his previous opponents, right? Like it's none of his previous opponents have been pay-per-view stars, well known, well established, and like at all. Jai, however, has the accomplishments, but what bothers me about the guys like Kenobi or whatever the hell his name is that like I just know he knows better.
Talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Mhm.
Yeah, like I just know the dude knows better. I think he knows what I know and what you know, but he's trying to run interference for David Benavidez because they like
There you
him.
go.
Right?
There you go.
That's what they're doing. Like they're doing PR for the dude. Like they're trying to soften the blow of any pressure of having to fight Jai, and they're doing the work for him. That's what they're doing. Like at the end of the day, they're making it sound like Jai had to have a crystal ball and know that eventually like this opportunity would come, so he could do a podcast calling for the fight or some shit. But the reality is, Jai was dealing with this bullshit before Zuffa even came into the picture. Like he was
More so,
anyway.
more so, D Styles. That now that Zuffa's in the picture, how the fuck does that close the door when at no point did anyone on planet Earth, the Milky Way galaxy, or the Andromeda galaxy, which I frequently visit, did anybody ask David, yeah, you got to go to Zuffa now? Yeah, you got to go fight on Paramount for the Zuffa belt. Nobody fucking said that shit. This is not a sides of the street thing. Jai never told you to come to his side of the street. We all know who it is what you said, D Styles, because and that's what makes it nauseating. Dan, you know that Turkey's the one to make the fight. And you know that Ring Magazine and Riyadh season cards are the middle ground for everybody to meet up and fight. So the real question is, why do you not want this fight? Because it's clear, based on the excuses you're making, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know what you're saying. You know better. And what you're showing me is you don't want this fight. That's what you're showing me. You don't want David to fight that dude.
Well, I know the media isn't really doing their like I don't know if they're doing their homework or not, but they're definitely picking and choosing what to complain about, what to bring up. Because I'll give you an example, right? So Paulo Malignaggi, he's out here. It just sounds gullible as shit, right? He's just like, oh, I got to give credit to Austria. At least he's fighting. Austria, at least he's in the right side. And I was going to go, but I was busy with training camp, so I couldn't go. But my thing is this, right? If you're really the media, quote unquote, and you cover it for a living or whatever it is, like you can't bring up the fact that Austria De La Hoya is a blatant hypocrite. That he brings up sports washing when he's literally doing cards with some of his Golden Boy fighters on these ring cards. That he did a whole show in Saudi Arabia and was bragging on how he was the only one. It was a dream come true and it was an honor to be there. He didn't give a shit about the sports washing then, but they don't bring that stuff up. They just don't.
Ring Magazine is compromised now, D Styles, because who sold it? Who sold it? And who
the guy that protects the fighter, the guy that protects the fighter.
The lawyer sold it to. He sold it, but like you don't see them complaining when there's a ring card, right? That the ring is basically funding. You don't see them complain about that, but then they want to bring up money. Like they bring up money as if the PVC are the ones swimming in money or some shit.
And I want you guys. I just want you Earthlings, before I go smoke this delicious cigarette and I give you guys the floor. I just want you guys to understand why boxing is the ultimate microcosm for life. Within the sport, right now, the majority of it, you see the brazen hypocrisy, the double standards, the agendas that exist in the general population when it comes to a wide array of subjects. That these people don't want boxing to be better. They don't. They want it to stay broken. They want it to stay crooked so that they profiteer from its crookedness. I maintain this. This is not about preventing Dana White or anybody else from forming a monopoly. It's about protecting one, the one that they already have. Because when you have nothing to worry about, nothing to compete with, the World Boxing Council and the other alphabets have a monopoly in boxing because there was no alternative. You had to deal with them. Whether it's the BC, the BA, or the BO, or the IBF, you had to deal with them. One of them,
It's
you
the
have to.
status quo. Like there's an establishment, a status quo, right? And from every level, even with the media, like Canobly or whatever his name is, sorry, like he feels
Jacobio.
Minnesota.
like,
Jacobio.
he feels like he has a certain spot in a certain place in this current world of boxing at the moment, right? And for whatever reason, he thinks Zuffa threatens that. You know, like it's just a guy like me. I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care who's in charge. I just want the fights.
No, listen,
Like,
and the other thing is, there are people within the space like Nico Ali Walsh, who's a fucking idiot.
Nepo Ali Walsh.
Nico Kaepernick. See, you're just fucking stupid, bro. Is your thing. Like you know that you would greatly benefit from signing to Zuffa. You know that, right? Zuffa is probably the only way that you can fight on a regular basis and actually win. Because if you're just out there in the middleweight division, Brody, Lara today at 45 would beat your ass. Yanni Beck would beat your ass. Ammo Williams would beat your ass.
I think Jake Paul beats him, bro.
I'm serious. Like you you suck. And people are nice to you, so they're not gonna tell you. You know you fucking suck, right? Who's jerking off?
I don't know. Somebody was like breathing super hard. Huh?
Somebody's breathing hard. Like they really like
My bad. I thought I was muted.
The fighters, the fighters.
But like D-Style, do you notice how they're running with the Canelo left scared, but nobody wants to mention David flew 17 hours to go to Saudi and left before the main event for Better Be Bevo?
We had a long conversation about that
Oh,
last.
no, I
last year,
got
bro.
Mirage with that shit.
Listen,
earlier.
That was the main
Mirage,
argument on Nuke Stream.
Before I
Who's
pass
that,
it to
Shit
Hit
Kid?
Kid, that shit kid. Before I
What's
pass
up?
it, to
Yeah,
Shit
I'm here.
Kicker,
I'm on late.
before I pass it to Shit Kicker, because I want to smoke this cigarette.
Fuck
Brody,
you, Jules.
you're not gonna get me on a fucking plane. What's that? A 15-hour plane ride to get there that day? He literally, y'all understand, for perspective, he got there that day and left that day. Like, nah.
Yeah.
No, Mirage tried to
His
tell
fault.
me, oh, he had a plane to catch. He had a plane to catch. That's why he left. Shut your bitch ass up.
Oh,
Dude, how many
shit.
times have we heard that excuse real talk out of Mirage's mouth on Nuke Stream? That he had a plane to catch.
No, because I caught him talking shit. You know, I'm like, oh, Canelo was a bitch for leaving, right? He ducked him, right? Well,
No,
what do you
he
say
did
about
the same again
Benavidez
today.
leaving early?
He did the same thing. He did the same on the fucking stream this past week.
No, that's literally what we got into about it today.
Yeah, the man is a fucking clown. I'm just at a point right now where, like, to Jules' point, you had Jose come
You
out.
said he's a clone?
I said he's a fucking clown.
A
I don't know
clone,
where
I
it
hear
came through from. But to Jules' point, you know, fucking Jose ran in his mouth, you know, saying, oh, I'm confident my son will take out Jai in, 2 rounds max. If that's the case, Jai doesn't have a fight scheduled. You're the number 1 ranked fighter. You have the right to challenge for the Ring Magazine belt. Make the fight. Make the fight come November.
Yeah, but I don't understand why he signed with Zuffa. We could have made that fight next. I swear, we would have done it.
It
Maybe
doesn't
the fight was
fucking
Zuffa.
matter if he's with Super or not. Like, this agenda that, fighters that sign with Supercat not fight on fucking ring card. Get the fuck out. It's silly season shit. Because overall, it's us, the boxing fans, who are getting fucked over. But yet you have your Mirages and your fucking ashy knuckles. And by the way, you
Knuckle
wanna know,
dragger, ashy knuckle dragger.
yeah, ashy knuckle dragger. By the way, you want to know Mirage clown ass? Mirage's clown ass said, "Oh, in the chat today, fucking David beats Usyk." Yeah, I
Oh,
can
save that one for Ring IQ. Save that one for Ring IQ.
Yeah.
Let Jules know that shit.
Yeah, I'll let Jules go off that one. But I just asked a quick question right back because, in a sense, if you think David can beat Usyk, I just asked both him and the knuckle dragger a simple question. Real talk. Do you think David beats Moses? I got silence. They wouldn't answer me. Real talk. They went silent as it gets, if you get what I'm on about. They went into hiding. Because
Yeah,
they
Mirage
fucking
is a
know.
bitch.
Fucking fanboys.
Okay, so I just want to bring this up here. So, from my understanding, Jayo Pataya and his team have initiated legal action against the IBF. I believe they have a case.
I agree.
So that's going to determine a lot of things. And I really just hope if a judge just says, you know what, you can't strip this dude for that, it's going to change everything, and it's going to turn all these stupid narratives on their fucking heads, right? And the media has definitely allowed a sanctioning body to get away with stripping a dude, right, for a bogus reason, right? And they're going along with it. Like you hear the Canobiles and the Algeries and the Malinagis justifying it, saying, well, Dana did say he did not want to work with the sanctioning body, so I don't blame them for stripping every Zuffa fighter because they're trying to put him out of business, yada yada yada. I just don't think that's going to really work. Because as a sanctioning body, you need to determine why your champion broke your rules and what your champion did to get stripped, not their promoter, right? And I just don't think they have a case.
No, I don't. I think the IBF stripping Jai that week was fucking bullshit. A lot of people called him out on it, me included. And if Jai gets the fucking belt back, then what's the excuse then going to be from Benavides?
Yeah, but I just think there's some collusion going on with with the media, like obviously the Benavides people, a lot of these promoters and like a lot of them. I just think they all kind of know what they're doing, and they're trying to ice out Zuffa from making fights happen. So they could ice out a Jayo Pataya and they could get the media to play along, right? With like, oh no, we can't make that fight because hey, he made a mistake by signing with Zuffa. Like that's basically
that's what they're trying to do, D-style, but like it's not 2015 where they have networks anymore.
Yeah.
Who's gonna listen to them? Who's gonna listen to them when DAZN and Paramount are only two games in town? And I don't think America has 50,000 DAZN subscribers.
No.
Yeah, I'm on board with you, but it's just at the moment, like I don't like it's what they're doing though.
Yeah, there's two media pushes going on right now, in my opinion. One is the media push, trying to shit on Zuffa. And let me be clear, I don't like the Zuffa belts, I'll be clear, but Zuffa has a purpose, in a sense. It can bring some up-and-coming fighters up, and it can, give some journeymen, such as Bumlanger, as Jules called him, which he is, a payday, and give us, the odd entertaining fight. Okay? But it's the attack on Zuffa, but also the media of the Benavides win against a zombified Cerdo, because that's what Cerdo looked like on Saturday. God, he was horrible. Is what do you call it? It's now the push, to try and shit on Jai. Because he's not.
They're trying to downplay Jai.
Yeah, they're trying to do a media hit job on Jai and downplay him because he's not the American fighter. Like, that's the cold hard truth on this. Like, he's not the home country fighter. And here's the thing, I'll fully admit it. Benavides shot me Saturday. I thought it was a 50-50 fight. I picked Cerdo to win by decision. Gotta look like a fucking clown. But I stated how I thought Benavides could get to him, and he got to him. Full fucking credit. Great performance. did exactly what he needed to do, a win which makes him belong on a pound for pound list. I have him 8th on my own personal list. I think anyone saying Benavides is now top 5 pound for pound's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I just don't like the double standard. So like, Jai does not have a history at all of avoiding fights or making excuses and all this and the third. Like the only one, because they're talking about roadblocks and the network you're with and the promoter you're with, right? So the reality is, a couple years ago when Canelo was the undisputed champion, right, and he was riding high and everything, I still remember Samson saying, and this is when he was still with Eddie Hearn, right? Like Canelo, he was still with the Zone before he went with PBC. And they asked David, Nestor Gibbs and the Boxing Boys asked him, "Hey, to make the Canelo fight, will you go to the Zone? Will you make the fight over with Matchroom?" And he said, "Fuck no." He said he will never leave PBC. Samson said they will never leave PBC. It has to be on PBC. When Canelo becomes a free agent, he needs to come over to PBC. It's just funny because he did and they didn't get the fight anyway, but they want to talk about roadblocks, right? But nonetheless, he's the one and his team with the history, right, of creating roadblocks and being unwilling to quote unquote cross the street to make a fight happen. Like, that's not Jai. Jai's not the one with that history.
Look at what just happened this past weekend because Serdo finally got in the ring with someone who could kick his ass. We were asking for Jai Serdo, I believe, 3 years ago, if I'm correct. It's been like 2 to 3 years we were asking for that fight. And Serdo, and you can put this down to Golden Boy as well, wanted nothing to do with it. Zero. Because they knew what was going to happen.
You can put it down to Top Rank, because if you remember, Zerto was originally with Top Rank, and when they were at 168, people tend to forget this. David was going to leave the PBC, and he was very close to leave.
Can you hear me? Oh,
yeah, we can hear you.
Let me reset. I can't hear nobody.
Okay, back to the story. He was very close to leaving the PBC, and he even took a cash advance of about $300,000, I believe it was. And he was very close to leaving them, and that would have made that fight, that would have made that fight. But the idea that all of a sudden he's this amazing guy because he knocked out a sparring partner that he has over 100 rounds with, and that was widely reported. And it's like we're at a point where American boxing cannot be taken seriously. No, it can't. And look at the lengths you guys have to go to. I just let me say this. I just did a video about how they were saying that, David Benavides is the first to win titles at 168 light heavyweight and cruiser. No, he's not. You guys just watched Badu Jack do that. Like you're manufacturing manufacturing statistics for this guy now. You are literally, and go ahead.
Yeah, listen. I'm going to end with this because I won't stay in here long. But in a sense, just on your point, with American boxing, because I'm from the UK. I know it's 4:20 a.m. here, so I'm going to be heading off and getting some sleep. But pretty much, it's like here in the UK, the boxing scene. It's like you're looking for that next up and coming star. I potentially could see it in a couple of fighters, but not really. The one from the UK I've been really enjoying has been, Pat Brown, the cruiserweight who was just mentioned, before. Mm-hmm. He's looking like he could potentially be the real deal. The Australian heavyweight recently on the own cards, I can't remember his name. Timawana. He looks like a proper beast, if I'm allowed to say it. I'm excited to follow his career. But like when it comes to the American fight scene, and you can correct me on this, please, there doesn't look to be that one like up and coming future superstar, which is shocking for once.
It's that way. Like I could tell you guys that I think are very talented, that I see something special. But really, it's Abdullah Mason. He reminds me of Crawford in the beginning. He kind of does. I used to think it was going to be Keyshawn, but I see a burnout. Very talented, and I pick him to beat a lot of people, but he's going to be a burnout. So I don't think he's going to be a star. Maybe Xander, because he's got the Puerto Rican thing going on. Maybe,
That's if he
We'll
beats
see.
Boots, and that's a 50-50.
Right? And Boots has potential if he wins that fight. I just the way things are going now, you got UK fighters that can do a stadium. If Leo Atang looks the part and keeps looking the part, he could go places. Pat Brown, same thing. Moses Atalma, same thing. You got Dalton Smith, you have Adam Azim, you have Ben Whitaker, you have guys that look, forget about
I
the
don't
pound
rate
for pound.
Whitaker. I don't rate Whitaker.
I don't rate Whitaker.
I think
But
he's overrated as hell.
but the idea is, if we're just focusing on marquee value, it's not so much ability, but marquee value and fighters that'll move the needle and sell tickets when the time comes. I could name any number of UK fighters that have that ability, that are already doing that.
True.
Because we're talking about the next star. Hamza Shiraz has a leg up on a lot of guys. He's going to beat that Bajic guy. I think he's going to beat that guy. And he can go back to the UK and sell a bunch of fucking tickets. Whereas in America, like, I mean, look, Keyshawn does sell 10,000 in Norfolk. He is good for that, and that's a good amount of tickets.
It's like
Boots is good for 10,000 in Philly, and he did do good, solid numbers in Atlantic City. But to say a star, we're talking about a guy that people know him. The casual knows him. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey,
Let me
Jules.
read these super chats because let me read these super chats because I got a
Jules,
lot of
I'm
them.
off. Jules, I'm off. So you have
I'll
a good,
see you,
have a
Hit
good
Kid.
night. I'll try and
shout-
catch you on an afternoon one. See ya.
Shout out to George. Millennial is Generation Y. Oh, I didn't know that. Shout out to George. Pitbull Cruz versus Paulie Malignaggi at 140. I've got Pitbull. SSS said, but David said he's giving the fans the fights they want. Like anyone ever asked for the Zerto fight, right? Shout out to SSS. Also, Jai's manager said they haven't launched yet because Jai is hesitant and mentally drained since he just came out of a court case recently. Yeah, he had to get away from what was this guy, Duco Events? I forgot his fucking name, man, because he had a whole court thing with that guy. It was happening in the background. Shout out to Poets Vendetta. Jules, check out Showbiz the Adults community post he released, a pound for pound. Also, you got shouted out by EV Boxing and Dan Marley Dan Marley on Beyond the Ropes. Oh shit! Shout out to them. I'll check them out. Shout out to Virtuoso. The midweek Benavidez hate brought to you by Bacon. Shout out to Bacon. That a star is hard to say. I want to shift it back over to D Styles because I appreciate the work he's been doing. He's been doing God's work and calling out the hypocrisy in the media. Shout out to Dougie Fisher, who just commented on my last video. And I want to get him on if possible, if he's willing, next week to talk about this situation. Obviously a guy who knows his boxing. He said that the hypocrisy that we're seeing in the media, which I often highlight, is coming from content creators. And D Styles, I think you would agree with me that it's not just content creators. It's not just content creators. Go ahead, D Styles.
Well, I also think we have to separate like someone who's a podcaster to somebody who calls themselves "quote unquote" media, right? Like, I think there's a different standard. I just think a lot of these "quote unquote" media guys, they're I feel what's going on right now is when it comes, like I'm noticing with the Jai situation, there's a lot of colluding going on, right?
Yes.
Like the media with I kind of feel like the Sean Chattel kind of fed him a question to kind of soften the blow with the pressures getting about Jai. Like it's all like I could see it. It's like I know what the end goal is here is downplay Jai, make sure we don't get enough pressure to make Benavidez make that fight happen, and that's just that. Like if these guys were being quote unquote objective, right? Then when Canoboli would bring up, let's say, Jai signing with Zuffa being an obstacle, but why doesn't he call out Golden Boy then? Right? Well, why doesn't he say, well, if Golden Boy would have made him an offer, we could have gotten the Zurdo fight and he wouldn't be here, right? He fails to kind of present the case as the Jai being with Zuffa, right, is not a cause, it's a symptom of his situation. right? Like that's what it is. Like he did it.
I would
You
go
need
as
to-
far as saying that Zuffa's not an obstacle, D Styles. To me, look, when it was Top Rank and PBC, you could have made a stronger case that maybe it's an obstacle because certain fighters were signed to exclusivity deals. So to do a cross promotional fight, it's going to have to involve both networks. It's going to have to, because this guy signed to an exclusive deal, and the PBC guy's situation is weird because none of them were signed to an exclusive deal, not a single one of them. So it never should have been that kind of a situation. But you could have made that argument then. You can't make that argument about this. Like, you can't, because no one is asking David to go to Zuffa or fight for a Zuffa belt.
But they're manufacturing. They're trying to manufacture a story that there is an obstacle, right? They're trying to manufacture, and they're almost colluding to do it between the promoters and the people in the media, right? And the manufacturing that they're doing is, the story that they're manufacturing is, there is an obstacle. That if you sign with Zuffa, you as a fighter made a conscious decision to no longer, you voided your right to contend for the titles, right? Like you withdrew your, like they're acting like Jaya Pattaya knowingly signed on the dotted line a contract that says you can no longer fight fighters from other promotions. Right?
Exactly. When the first thing that Jayo Pattaya said, the little video that he released after it was announced that he signed to them, is he's pursuing Undisputed, and the sanctioning fee was paid. All right, the sanctioning fee was paid for his IBF title. It was paid. Okay, it's not like they said, "Yeah, fuck off. We're not doing this because we're against you." This is deeper and darker than I think most people care to acknowledge, because the content
Is it thicker
creators,
too?
Oh, okay, Drew. Okay. See, now I lost my fucking train of thought. Let me read the super chat. Shout out to Usyk. Hey Jules, any links to the panel? I got you right now. Give me a second. Shout out to George. Costa Zoo versus Vinny Paz. Bro, come on, bro.
Come on.
Costa, come on, bro. Like, what question is that, bro? Nothing against the Pazmanian devil, but come on, bro. We
Costa
talking
and
about a prime Costa? Exactly. Like, come on, bro. I got you right now. Usyk.
Where I will concede with Jules
I
is
would say
right.
that.
Go ahead.
No, you will wait. You will wait. What I was gonna say was that it is collusion in the sense that they're trying to frame this, as D Styles said, as, oh, if you go to Zuffa, we get to blackball you, because that's what it really is. If you go to Zuffa, we get to blackball you, we get to shun you, all right? Because they're trying to punish you for going over there. This is not really about protecting fighters, the same way that anti-doping testing is not about cleaning the sport. It's not. It's a racket. It's a racket, and this is a racket. This is a racket, and what they want is, see, Matchroom doesn't care about Zuffa in the sense that they're not worried about them. Like, no, you want to go do your little thing at the Apex, go right on ahead. But for Oscar and other promotional outfits who really rely on those mid-level fighters and those mid-tier fighters, they don't want Zuffa coming in and cornering that market. More so, they don't want Zuffa because they know the kind of money that they have. And they know that, look, if it gets into a bidding war between you and Zuffa, you might lose. They can make things very expensive for you, like DAZN did when they first entered into the American market. That also added to the inflation that you now see when you give Mikey Garcia $7 million to fight fucking Jesse Vargas, right? Yeah, that's fucking inflation. They don't want more of that. But that's what it is. You don't want to have to work hard. You want to be able to keep peddling the same crap, the same shit shows that, Avsat Havanesian at 11:30 at night in a main event, like against Luis Nery. It's like, yeah, you want to keep doing that same old bullshit. Boxing, unfortunately, which nobody in the media wants to say, boxing can't survive in America if it continues the way that it's been. It won't.
By the way, I keep hearing how the Ali Act is supposed to protect the fighters. Like, I keep hearing that, right? Yet I just saw an interview of Richard Torres with Michelle Joy Phelps, like a little clip, and I've been hearing others talk about this. How, like, all these promoters have all these contracts where The fighter needs to fulfill their end of the bargain, but if they lose, the promoter gets to kick them out of their promotional contract, right?
Of course.
And I'm not even saying I'm against that or whatever, but that doesn't sound very pro fighter. Like, you know what I mean? And the reality is, these promoters want to control all that. They don't like the fact that there's this new outfit that's gonna go ahead and sign those guys that you let go. You no longer control those guys to the capacity that you used to control them. You also can't just keep dudes by the phone just waiting to get a phone call to be put on a card anymore, right? All those journeymen and all those kind of unknown guys that are maybe dangerous that you don't want to even,
That they
put
want to
your-
starve out and get desperate
Yeah.
for a payday.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Like you can't, like, all of a sudden the game is changing a little bit. They know it, right? And that's just the way it is.
And it's the people that are not doing a good job, because if you look at Frank, for example, and Frank's doing a fantastic job. The people that are doing a good job and know how to do what they're doing, which really only encompasses 2 to 3 people. You're talking about both the Brits and Eddie and Frank, and George, because George is the heir apparent to Queensberry. They're not worried about Zuffa. Go ahead, do a show in the UK. Oh, ooh, you got Chris Billum Smith. Oh shit, I better look out. The guy I wasn't gonna offer a contract. Oh shit, we're in trouble now, right?
Like Matt, yeah.
And then you saw Todd do both on the Ariel Helwani show. Todd and Bob are not worried about Zuffa because they know this industry well enough that, listen, with all your money, and I kept telling Drew this, but he wants to keep talking to me about fucking Mark Shapiro. Listen, with all your money and all your resources and all your friends in high places, we're still on equal footing in one plane. You are trying to sell the same thing I am, and you don't know how to do that better than I do. You don't. All you can do is overpay for the same fighters that we pay less. You're the morons who paid Conor Benn $15 million. And what are you now wasting on Edgar Berlanga and Richardson Hitchens? And how much money are you about to fuck off for Devin
You know what you're
Haney?
describing?
Go ahead.
Like, you know what you're describing right now, that it's kind of the that's the way Vince McMahon beat Ted Turner, despite all the millions of dollars.
You're right.
and all
And
the contracts.
rest in peace, Ted Turner, who just passed today.
Yeah.
He just
Ted
kept
Turner,
overspending.
He just kept overpaying, and then what's his name? Vince even worked with Hogan. He even told Hogan, he's like, tell him I offered you this, and then he'll offer you more, because they wanted him to spend as much as possible, right? But Vince obviously knew wrestling more.
It's more like this. That's a good parallel, but I'll make it even simpler for you. It's when I was young, I was very young. Our general at the time, Leonidas, he told us, look, the Persians have more numbers than we do, but within this narrow corridor, it's going to come down to skill because they can't all outflank us within this corridor. So we huddled up in the corridor, and we kicked the shit out of the Persians. They made a movie about it. Zack Snyder
But
did
there's
a
only
movie
one
about it.
problem with this. The problem with that is that in the end, all the Spartans get killed.
Well, I'm the guy who had the bandage, who had to leave to tell the story,
All
is
right.
what it is. No, but really it is that, though, that you have a lot of resources, perhaps more than you know what to do with, and you're fucking off a lot of them the way that the Persians were fucking off their numbers on these Spartans who just knew how to fight better. That in the end, they managed to have the fight. Well, not in the end, but during the fight, they managed to get it in an arena where your numbers don't matter. In here, it's going to boil down to know-how. And I believe that is the case with Zuffa because, bro, what are you wasting on Richardson Hitchens? What are you wasting on Edgar Berlanga? Look at what you gave Conor Benn, a fighter who the UK doesn't even like anymore. But look at what you just gave him. And if this is how you're supposed to run us out of town, you're going to end up running yourself out of town. It may be a while before what you're doing stops making sense. I want to go to the Angry Ozzy and get his perspective on Benavidez and Opataya. Go ahead, Angry Ozzy.
Johnny Thunder.
G'day, fellas. How's going? Yeah, look, man, I for the life of me, I just can't work out why fighters don't want to be the best in their division. why they just don't want to make the best fights. Why are we getting all of this talk from Benavidez Sr. saying that his son will knock Jai out in 2 rounds? Fucking sign up for it, mate. It's the easiest fight to make in boxing. That man is the easiest guy to fucking deal with. He will take any amount. When they offered Chris Billum Smith the fight for the IBF and Billum Smith's belt, Jai said they were splitting the purse. Tasman won the bid. They were splitting the purse 50-50. It was $500K each. Billum Smith said, I want more money. Jai said, have the whole lot. Have the million. I want your belt. I don't want the money. I want your belt. Still couldn't get that fight. Now this is what I'm starting to like, man, is see, I think all publicity for Jai Opetaia right now is good publicity. I don't care that people want to shit all over Zuffa. I find it hilarious that people have got their fucking panties in a bunch over this. We're getting more fights, and they've just come on the scene in 2026. And we've had some great matchmaking, some really great matchmaking from an organisation that really doesn't have a pot to piss in yet. And, yeah, they're only getting 130 people at the Apex Centre, whatever, mate. That's going to build. They're going to build that. It's a work in progress. And I think with a guy like Nick Khan at the wheel, man, I think they're in pretty safe hands. I mean, they've got the best network deal in boxing today, $500 million for 5 years on Paramount Plus. They got a guy like Turkey that's backing them. They got a guy like Nick Khan up the front driving the machine. And one thing I wanted to point on that you missed on, Jules, was you were talking about guys, middle of the road type fighters that are, at a bit of a stalling point in their career. I think we're also going to see a lot of fringe contenders, a lot of prospects they're coming out party that maybe don't have the opportunity to get the fights. We're going to see these guys fighting 3 and 4 times a year, man, and starting to make a bit of a name for themselves. So, man, I'm all for
let's say this, Ozzy. My perspective on Zuffa is nuanced. Do I believe that they're going to monopolize boxing? No, I don't believe that's possible. I don't believe they can run the sanctioning bodies out of business or the other promoters. I don't believe that happens. But can they be successful within their own lane? I've maintained, oh yeah, they can do that. They can put together some good fights. They can get some good fighters to sign to them. The Zuffa belt, I think it's a wash. If the IBO title has been around since 1988 and people still don't accept it, they're not going to accept your Zuffa belt. So let's get that right out of the way. But what you can do is entertain people. That is your avenue. That's your out. Entertain people by providing affordable boxing that's not behind a paywall, because the leg up that you have on them, for all of their know-how, their boxing is too expensive. There are 3 pay-per-views this month. 3.
Yeah.
That's
and then
insane.
let me ask you this, Jules and Aussie. Like, I think the one point we're missing is, like you said, Jules, they were smart to go after the managers. So what are all the managers going to see when they see Devin Haney getting this money, and are these guys getting this money? That's going to influence people to like, why am I going to go sign with Eddie? Why am I going to go sign with Oscar or Bob when I can get the manager's going to be like, we're going to get all this money up front. Bam, let's go. Fuck the back end. Fuck what they're talking about.
It's gonna be split, Drew. Is what it is. That look, it's gonna be split. Like, don't get it twisted. There are still, if you're a British fighter, I don't think your first instinct is to go sign to Zuffa. I think your first instinct is to go to Eddie and Frank. But yes, can you convince some Americans? It depends on how gullible they are, also, Drew, because there's a lot of bad. They got a lot of bad press.
Or how greedy the managers are.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you have people that are drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't want to go to Zuffa, and they're gonna fuck me. Well, you don't know that. You're just listening to what people are saying. So it depends on the fighters that, okay, is this the right fit for you? Are you buying into the propaganda against this? But I do see an avenue where, look, it could work. They can be successful in their lane, because one thing that you have to give Dana White and Nick Khan especially, they value their relationship with their broadcaster more than any individual fighter. And that's where boxing fucks up. That's
or
where
promoter,
boxing
right?
tends to fuck up. Or promoter that Stefan Espinoza cared more about rubbing elbows and rubbing dicks with the guys at the PBC than keeping his fucking job, which is why he doesn't have one now.
Yeah.
What did I say, Drew? What did I say? This guy cares more about sitting at the cool kids table than being the president of Showtime Sports.
He wanted to be in Chicken Talk and be invited to the cookout and take pictures more than running fucking president of sports.
You want to rub dicks with Errol and high five Al Heyman, and now you were the president of a wing that no longer exists because you didn't have your eyes on the ball. You were the quality control officer. It was your job to go to Al and say, "Hey, we need better fights, or we're cutting the money. We need better fights. Yes, we need better fights, or we're cutting the money." Hold up before I pass it to Herb. Mr. T said, "Trying to do to Jai what they tried to do to Bud." Exactly. Shout out to George. B-Hop versus Jake LaMotta at 160. At 160, I got Jake.
These fucking
160, I got Jake.
hypotheticals, yo.
Well, it's
15
not a
rounds.
bad one because it's not a bad
got
one
B-Hop.
because
I got
B-Hop
B-Hop.
was a decorated fighter, but could B-Hop beat him at 60? I don't. Jake's a pressure guy.
It's hard
That's
though,
the-
Jules.
and
It's
he- and
modern
he's- and he's
rules
a
versus
15
old rules.
And he's a 15 round. The thing is, he's a 15 round pressure guy. He's not a 12 round guy. He's a 15 round guy.
Is Hopkins allowed to clinch as much as he did?
Bruh.
These is Jake allowed to use horsehair with no padding gloves like they used back in the day?
Go ahead, Herb.
Shit.
Hey, my father's I think that Zulfa will send Jai to Netflix to fight David for that ring.
Yeah.
That would be fire. Right under
Of course.
Tyson Fury Joshua, that'll be a fire card.
Herb,
Now, David was
this
smart.
is listen. I'm telling y'all, all right. Shout out to Dougie Fisher, who's my man, and he's been a longtime subscriber of this channel, which is why I keep putting this stuff out there. If you don't believe me, he's in the comment section of the last video I uploaded. I'm saying this stuff so that Dougie goes to Turkey. I'm giving you the play. You got 3 plays for Jai. You got 3. The alphabets consider Jai a contender. Make him a mandatory for the WBO title. That's one play. Second play, go after Noel Mikhailian. He's not doing anything. That guy, look, nobody cares about that fucking guy. Offer that guy $500,000 and a ham sandwich, and he's in the ring. Okay. Okay. The third play.
He wants a
Third
pickle
play.
with a ham sandwich.
The third play. Skip the foreplay. Get Turkey on the horn. Yo, David, we got X amount of millions for you to fight Jai Opataya on the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. What say you? Put him on. He's gonna say no. I did want to address Ozzy's question. I did want to address this. Ozzy, the reason that you see fighters that don't want to be the best in their division is because they already know they're not. David knows how he got here. His father knows how he got here. Look, there's fighting men. Fabio is a fighting man. Daniel is a fighting man. How do you know? Why the fuck is Fabio deciding to fight this fucking guy when he could have took a layup? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, you crazy? Jai is a fighting man. He's a yo dog. When they stripped me of my IBF title because I didn't fight Mayris Breedis, well, why am I fighting him again? He broke my jaw in 2 places because he's a fighting man. He's like, bro. Look, whatever's. Let's fight, bro. I don't want to sit here arguing with you all fucking day. Now you want to go to Mill City Boxing. You want to go to all these people and talk shit about me, but you don't want to fight me. I'm not talking shit about you. Jai didn't say nothing bad about him. He just said, let's fight. What's
Look,
good?
You don't.
And, I ain't shit.
You know what I think?
I gotta have a glass
You know what
jaw.
I think
My
we should
dick
do?
is little. Bitches don't
You
like
gotta
me.
step to him. They got. Listen, I'm trying to tag Mill City Boxing, David Benavides and his father, and get Jai Opataya on the show to talk. Build up the fight, man. If you're using social media as a tool for outreach, all right, then promote the fight that way.
So look, I gotta get going, but I just want to say this. Here's how I know the fight's not gonna happen. Whether he's with Zulfa, whatever they offer, you don't downplay a guy that you want to fight, right? Like, you just don't do it, because if they knew they were gonna fight Jai, they would be hyping up Jai. They'll be talking Jai up to the moon because a win over Jai. They want credit if they beat him, and they don't want to be, obviously, and if they lose, hey, look at who I lost to, though, right? Right now, they don't have a plan to fight him. That's why they're downplaying him. Like, they're talking shit about him because they have no plan to fight him. That's why they're
trying to bring up Bivol to 190.
Yeah, they're trying to convince. They're trying to convince us, the boxing consumers all around the world. What they're trying to convince us of is that we don't want that fight and that we shouldn't want that fight because supposedly Jai has a glass jaw, which is fucking bullshit. Listen, bro. if I get stung by a bee, I'm rolling around on the fucking floor, okay? This guy fought with a broken jaw in 2 places and didn't go down, and he didn't quit, and he kept fighting. But you telling me he got a glass jaw? I'm saying, okay, go break it. Go break it.
Look, I just saw.
Sign the
Speaking of
contract,
Zuffa,
big boy. Sign the
Sign the
contract,
contract.
big boy.
You know what I'm saying?
speaking of Zuffa, I saw Voshik get stopped on a Zuffa show. I didn't see your son stop him. Like, so we gotta cut. Like, you beat Zurdo, and now you're fucking the Mike Tyson of the
And
era.
you know,
like,
he's
I don't
fucking
get this.
God. He's fucking God. You got David Morrell, who's supposed to be better than Jai Opataya. David Morrell, who just looked like shit with Radavalle Kalajdzic. Kalajdzic, who stopped Vazdik, that David couldn't stop.
Yo, Jules.
What?
I think
Go ahead.
Kataev got against Morel as well. I think Kataev actually beat Morel.
That's another one. That's Kataev didn't have a lot of fights. He's not a big Kataev is not a big like heavyweight, but like 5'6", 5'7". How come Kataev could knock David Morrell on his ass, but your son couldn't?
He was trained by the great Jim Cambosis for that fight too.
This is not what I'm alluding to is, look, you know, I call the bullshit where I see the bullshit. American boxing is not boxing. I'm sorry, it's not. When you can't get Shakur and Javante, and you can't get Schofield and Shakur, and you still haven't gotten Lopez versus Haney and David Benavidez. Everything is pulling teeth with this fucking guy. Everything is pulling teeth, right? American boxing is not boxing. I'm sorry, no, it's not. When I want to see real shit, and motherfuckers doing real shit, I gotta look abroad. Fabio don't need to be fighting this crazy ass motherfucker, but he is. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? But he is, and I'm buying
the shit they got here is fake and
Joe,
gay.
the reason why he won't fight Jai is because, I mean, they're not stupid. His team's already done the film study. They already know when they fight Jai's gonna break his jaw.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
I don't want to have a go at Mill City, you know, because he's just an interviewer. But I didn't like what he said that, Jai's not dynamic. Jai doesn't have a jab? Bro, what? Yo.
He's not smart, bro.
Can I just say something, Jules? Anyone, like for me, when Jai fought Brandon Glanton, that was outside of the Bradis fight. For me, that's his best victory he's had in a very long time, man. Glanton's never touched the canvas, never been stopped. In every fight, people say, he's an NFL linebacker, whatever the fuck he was before he was boxing. The guy is one tough hombre. Jai Opataya walked out of that fight without a mark on him, mate. Without a scratch on him. Now,
they're doing to him what they did to Crawford, Ozzy. You see people avoid him. You see people avoid him. They won't fight him so that you can then say, he hasn't fought anybody. Well, nobody wants to fucking fight him, including his son.
On that same logic, like if we want to talk the same logic, like we're going to talk the Zuffa belt is shit. Well, let's talk about the IBF Mandos, the 3 of the fuckers that Jai had in 2025 and put every motherfucker in hospital. That they're all cans, but they're all mandatories under the IBF. And he knocked every one of them motherfuckers out. He broke the dude's neck. He had to spend Christmas in Australia, mate. He was supposed to go home to his family for Christmas.
The other thing is, Masternak was. It's not just the guys you know. Masternak was supposed to fight Jai. He didn't want to. Riakporhe was supposed to fight Jai. He didn't want to. Okay, and I get irritated watching the shit because it's like, okay, so I guess Jai is the new Crawford because that's what they did to Crawford. You guys avoid him. You guys avoid him and then say, well, he hasn't fought anyone. Well, how the fuck is he going to when nobody wants to?
But see, Jules, that's the same claim they make about Benavidez, these Benavidez stands, is that he has, the reason why he can't get split because they're avoiding him and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Listen, all I know is in 2020, Artur, you were offered Artur, you didn't want it then. Fast forward, Artur's been saying that he wants to fight you, but you wanted to go to cruiserweight. I can pull up the receipts. Artur's been saying this whole time. Yeah, I want to fight Benavidez. And I see the bullshit for what it is. Oh, you want to be nicey nice. I want to fight you too, my friend. Yeah. Okay, bro.
He ran to a sparring partner, man.
Yo, what's up? What's up, gentlemen? What's up?
No, I'm gonna
I
say
see.
this. We got two Aussies in here. We got two Aussies in here.
About to be a civil war.
Hell
Yeah, yeah.
You
Look,
know,
as a true blue Aussie, I'll give you my position. See, I don't want to see Jai get hurt. That's
Aren't you
my
Serbian?
position.
Is that
I don't
Mirage?
want to see Jai get busted up.
Is that
I
Mirage?
heard you
All
were
David
Serbian.
I
does.
want it. I
Jai,
want to see it,
okay.
Mirage.
Angry
I want to see
Aussie,
it,
why
Mirage.
do you want to see your boy get
Aren't you
hurt?
from Eastern Europe?
What
Because
kind
I
of
want to see the
Aussie are
best.
you? What kind of
I want to see
patriot are
the
you?
best. Because I'm not a faggot that hides behind his fighter. I want my fighter to fight the best. I want the best versus the best. And one guy's got 2 belts at cruiserweight, and what's he going to do? Run back to 175 to maybe get a fight with
He can
Bivoli?
do what he
Bivoli's
wants.
going to
He can
fight.
do what he wants.
listen. This is the thing that look. I'll level with Mirage. I will level with you. If you really were gonna fight Bivol, then I would say that is permissible. If I felt this is really gonna happen and they're not playing around and they're not tugging at my dick, yeah, if you really gonna do that, go ahead. I'm just telling you, and you know, don't fucking bullshit me, Mirage. You know my track record. He's not fighting Bivol. He's not going to light heavyweight. Where is the common sense gone? The guy walks around at 225. He just fought at cruiser, and you mean you telling me people really believe he's gonna cut 50 pounds? He just fought at cruiser.
The reason he might not fight Bivol is because I don't think Bivol. I'm not convinced Bivol wants that fight. That's the only reason it might not happen.
Not at 190.
Yeah.
Not at 190.
Hey, when does he fight? End of the month? Let's see what Bivol says.
Yeah,
Let's see his energy after the fight. Let's see his
I
energy.
don't think Bivol wants it, man. I honestly don't think Bivol wants to fight Benavidez.
No, I'll level with you guys. I was gonna save this for tomorrow, but let me remind you guys of something. In the amateurs, Artur Better Beef kicked every ass there was to kick, including Bivol's. As professionals, Artur Better Beef hosted 100% knockout percentage. He knocked out every man that was in front of him. David don't know nothing about that, but Dimitri wasn't afraid to fight him twice. So what's he gonna be scared of David for?
One difference. 40 years old.
If you guys, no, wait a minute. Listen, he was trying to fight him before that. I have the receipt, so let's not waste each other's time. He's been trying to fight him for years, and for years it was actually Bob who didn't want to do it because, and that was during the Cold War of Top Rank and Matchroom. Right? Bob didn't want to do it. Bevol's been trying to fight him. The point that I'm making is, you guys are, you know, respect Ozzy and respect Mirage. But what nobody's going to convince me that there's something fearsome about David that an Eastern European of all is going to be afraid of. Yeah, that's a joke. Okay, if you were talking about some shit talking American, I could see. Them guys from them cold countries, they're not worried about you. They're not worried about me. They're not worried about shit. Those guys over there is stoic. They're cut from a different cloth. So don't try to convince me that Dimitri is so scared of David. David who couldn't knock out Vosdik. You know who knocked out Vosdik? The guy he actually fought. The guy he actually fought. That guy knocked out Vosdik.
Hey, Jules. Whose WBC belt does David have again at 175? Whose belt is that again?
The guy who used the WBC to get an email. We've already been through this.
Yeah, but let's
make a long story short. Let's make a long story short.
Yeah, people gave it up. That's it. That's the story.
He gave it up. Yeah, he gave it up. That's awesome. The WBC and David Benavidez knew that he was busy. They knew that he was busy. They chose to go after him anyway. Before the fight, David Benavidez himself said, yeah, I think there's going to be a trilogy and I wouldn't want to get in the way of that. Well, you just tried to with the WBC because you knew he was busy. You knew because you wanted a belt, not a fight. And I'm telling you now, you can hype this bum up as much as you want. He's going to get exposed. You can hype this bum up as much as you want. I know the bums when I see them. He's a bum. And his time is coming.
I see Jules is celebrating David's great win just as I expected. No surprise.
Shout out to George. Can Terry Marsh shoot Warren again? $80 is you're telling me, bro? $80 fucking dollars, bro. I'm in the United States. I gotta fucking pay.
Hey, Jules.
Fucking shit. Shout out to Domo. Wait, shout out to Domo. Who's gonna have the best fight in Mortal Kombat this weekend? I don't know. Probably
Shaq.
Liu Kang. I would. Liu Kang and Kung Lao is fighting. That's a pretty good fight. Pretty good fight.
Damn, that reminds me. I got to play some Mortal Kombat when I get home.
That's crazy.
Fucking Mortal Kombat, bro. Shout out to motherfucking Will. Most people who watch boxing in the USA are WWE fans. You can easily tell by the way they gravitate towards the talkers and the bullshit artists over the guys like Bam and Terrence Crawford. So fucking true. Shout out to motherfucking Kevin Durant. I'd love to see Benavidez squared up unbalanced stance against Jai. Let's see how that works out. And this, and I want to say this. This is just going to go on. I'm fucking 43 years old. I know that, listen, this is going to go on for another year and a half, 2 years. I'm just telling you, it is. This is not going to get sewed up right away. But Mirage, it is going to get sewed up. He's going to get fucking exposed. This ain't my first rodeo. That dude
when
is
he's 40
bum.
years old, when's it going to happen? I want to sit back. I want to be prepared. Just let me know. When it's
Just get ready, bro. Shout out to Domo. Motherfucker stayed at 68, not fighting shit. Just to fast forward through 75 to only call out 75 fighters at cruiserweight. That's that chicken shit. Shout out to Domo. Shout out to Mr. Calderon Mirage. We missed you, even if you're wrong about David Benavidez. Shout out to my man El Talibano. I know a squeal. You see this dude read my phone. I know the squealers. David is a squealer. I know the squealers. And enjoy him. Enjoy him while he lasts, because he's not going to. I would go as far as questioning whether or not he's even going to fight again this year, because David has an established pattern. He'll fight once 1 year, then twice in the next one. He's been doing this for about 6 years. And this is the year. This is one of those years where, you're going to fight once, because it's not going to be Bivol. I know that. You guys are gonna fuck that up. The story's gonna change, and people are gonna say shit. And Mirage is gonna buy a lot of posters and a David Benavidez comforter set. And that's just fucking
I'm gonna buy
great.
some merchandise. You just reminded me. I gotta buy some
You
merchandise.
gotta get some merch, bro.
Size dildo.
He's gonna get a David Benavidez cock ring, is what he's gonna get.
So,
Jules.
Good.
What do you call it? What I was gonna say was not to you, Yo Mirage. I have a question for you, bro. Have you ever watched Jai Opataya film at all? Like anything or no?
What do you mean, bro? Of course, I watched him fight. I watched his last fight. I watched his last fight when he went the distance with that NFL player. I watched it. Don't worry about that. I've seen it.
I'm talking about film where you study what he's doing. Because if you did, bro, you would know he's a very bad style matchup for David. He's way too athletic.
Listen, no.
Oh, yeah. Is that Junior talking? Is that Junior talking?
Yeah.
Listen, come on. Junior's my cousin. Leave him alone. All right.
Yeah. Who did you pick again, Junior, for Benavidez Zerto? Refresh my memory, little Junior.
I actually picked Zerto, but at the last
that's what I thought.
picking David.
Come back next time. Come back. You watch film study. You're telling me to watch film study? You need to watch David film study. And then come back. We'll talk boxing.
He's basic, brother.
Drop the video, bro.
And let the adults talk, Junior.
Wait, let me read Will's. Shout out to Will. How many champs did David take belts from, Mirage? He took belts from 2. He took Anthony Durrell's WBC, which was really his WBC. And he took Zerto's. It was like, come on, bro. That was a hand-me-down belt.
Can I ask Mirage a question?
But that's the only one he took.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Mirage, who do you think Benavidez fights next?
That's a tough question. That is a tough question.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Watch it be
His
Jai's
energy for a
leftovers,
job
bro.
for sounds very duckish, bro. Let's just.
Okay.
I mean, can you
I'll tell
admit that his
It'll
energy
be a
for
good fight.
Jai is not the same?
It'll be a good opponent and a good fight.
No,
That's
mate.
what I'll say.
You know who he's going
Hey,
to fight? He's going to fight Mikhailian. I'll bet you my bottom dollar that Mauricio Suleiman is going to gift him that fucking WBC belt.
Ozzy, you read my fucking mind. And the only thing that could save it, and Dougie, you gotta call people. Dougie, if you watching this, you gotta tell them what Jules said, Dougie. Yo, get Jai the fucking Mikhailian fight. Hurry up. The WBC is the WBC are whores. They're gonna go with whoever gets them the biggest sanctioning fee. Get Jai that fight.
We know that Mauricio Suleiman dances for dollars. He's like a desperate stripper at a really cheap strip club.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
He dances for dollars, mate. And the thing was, even before this fucking Zerto fight, Jai Opetaia was supposed to be in talks with McCallian's team for the WBC. So, and when people ask me, like, who do you think will be the first sanctioning body that'll actually deal with Zuffa? I think it'll be the WBC.
Of course. Listen, remember what Mauricio said? When Jai still had his red belt, what did Mauricio say? We are not against unification match. We are okay. They have our blessing.
But that
Get
was when
him.
he was with Zuffa?
Yes. This is before this is after he gets signed, but before he gets stripped. In between
true.
that
I mean,
time,
if Conor Benn's in Zuffa and he's gonna be number 1 to fight for the WBC belt, I mean, yeah, he's gonna,
Well, can I just
let's say this. Let's say this. Now, here's one thing. Here's one thing before I go smoke the cigarette. What you have to remember is the Revival Act is likely to pass, whether people like it or not. It's likely to pass. That is going to hit Mauricio in the pocket. The money that you're about to lose, it's got to come from somewhere. Why not Zuffa? That'll change your fucking mind. All those interim gold, super intestine, yeah. All that's going away. At least in the United States. Well, that's going away. So all that money he was getting off of that, you're going to have to find it somewhere else.
He said
super
find it at
intestines. Super intestinal, bro. Y'all go ahead.
I just remember Mauricio Suleiman's favorite song is a Tina Turner classic. It's called Private Dancer. I'm your private dancer. Dancer for me.
This guy, yo.
Do what you want me to do. I just got a funny feeling that fucking David Benavidez is going to come in like a thief in the night and steal that fight from under Jai.
I mean, the only thing I get,
that's a
David
fucking
credit
duck.
for his fight,
That's a fucking duck. If he
well,
fights
yeah,
that,
I mean, he's been ducking already. I mean, this is crazy, guys. He's a former 168 pounder champ. And there was like 3 former 168 pounders who moved up and fought the best at that. We had Zerto fighting Bivol, Canelo fighting Bivol, and we had Callum Smith fighting Beterbiev. So why are these 3 guys moved up and fight the best, but David still hasn't yet to fight one of them? Those are the 2 guys, you know? Well, Bivol is, but, you know, I mean, and that just kind of triggered me too, because I'm like, okay, bro. And people like Mirage really putting $200 down. They're about to lose it because that motherfucker's talking about a catch weight. He ain't talking about going back down to 175. That last year he said $190
though on Jai. Yo, Mirage, if they fight, I'll bet you 200. I'll bet you 200. Jai by knockout.
Okay, we'll make the bet. So let me ask you this: Morel, Andre, and Zerto, what do they have in common?
They're hype jobs. Morel was a hype job.
Southpaws. Guess what? David eats southpaws for breakfast. Okay. Jai Opetaia. Hey, Carl, Jai Opetaia's next on the menu.
The bad thing
He's
about
next on the menu. I hate to break it to you.
Mirage, is Jai going to stand in the middle and stand in front of him like a punching bag with arms?
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's going to get. David will draw him into the fight.
Oh,
Jai likes to fight.
That's not
he will draw him into a gunfight.
How come a brawler like Glanton couldn't draw him in? How come that dude couldn't draw him in?
Glanton sucks, man. David's different, man.
I reckon Glanton might fuck David up. I think Glanton might.
Hey, now you're taking the piss. Now you're taking the piss.
I think
the straight right down the pipe.
Hey, didn't David get dropped by a
straight
jab,
right
or was
down the
it a
pipe,
straight
man.
right?
Dangerous.
I forgot what. He got dropped by something. I'm pretty sure Jai could do the same thing.
I know Jai's never hit the canvas. Jai's never tasted the canvas.
Yeah,
David did.
You're making me sound like a David hater. I like Jai Opetaia. I'm not a Jai Opetaia hater.
David's ass cheeks kiss the canvas, bro. So we've seen that. We haven't seen it from Jai.
No, Jai's been busted up. His face has been busted up.
The bad thing about David is I feel like Jai, he got to get him now early. Try to at least get him now because he's going to be more dangerous. He's going to be working at the UFC PI. He's going to be fucking getting good shit. He's going to get everything good, and he's going to be a danger to everyone.
You know,
so the problem.
You know what? Can I just say this, fellas, that outside of Zuffa at cruiserweight, Zuffa's got a lot of fucking big name cruiserweights there, fellas. A lot of them.
Yeah, the CBS
a lot
dude
of them.
and
Jai,
he's fighting too.
Smith, Ryan Rositzky, Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, that fight's pretty good. Ryan Rositzky and Chris Smith. That'll be
that's a good fight,
right,
bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy too, though, because it's like this is Zuffa, guys. They're gonna throw you guys in like
who
wins
that fight?
You with the best or something
between Ryan and Chris Smith.
This is a good fight. Hey, I think the winner might take a Jai fight. Whoever wins that fight can fight
I'm not
Jai
gonna lie
next.
to you. This might be crazy, but I think Ryan would be more dangerous for Jai than Chris Smith. That's just
Of
my
Yeah, I
course,
think
opinion.
so too, bro.
of course, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I got hit, bro.
I
I
just
think
don't
he
think.
going.
I just don't think Ryan's got he doesn't have the firepower to deal with Jai. I
He
just don't
doesn't.
think I think he's got his work cut out for him with Billum Smith. I mean, Billum Smith's a pretty straightforward, straight
Yeah.
up and down type fighter. But I mean, anyone who hasn't seen it, go watch Brandon Glanton versus Chris Billum Smith, and have a look at Chris Billum Smith's head at the end of that fight.
Yeah,
That was
Glanton
crazy.
that's true.
absolutely busted
Yo, I'm
the
not gonna
shit
lie
out
to you
of
though.
Billum Smith.
The first time I ever seen Jai, I was impressed because I'm like, hold up, this dude's fucking athletic. He moves around on the pendulum, so like he's always moving and jabbing, setting up his
Yep.
strike
Hey, that's what I
punches.
like about him too. He's always moving, and when he moves, he'll throw a jab. He's got to make sure he has that range, so where he knows the next shot where he could land and shit. And I like
And
about Jai, like if we're seeing, he's not gonna be Zerto. He's not gonna be standing there. He's gonna be moving. He's gonna be ducking. He's gonna be dodging, and he's gonna be
oh,
throwing. So
I
You
just
reckon
want
he's
to
one
going
thing
to
watch.
about
box and
that,
move, David? You
that's
reckon he's
gonna
going to
be
box and
hard for
move?
David.
yes, that's the way Jai fights. Jai, all Jai does, he moves, he pivots. He'll throw a check hook, then pivot out the way. He'll cut an angle. He'll slip and roll. It depends on what you throw at
But
him.
didn't you guys say Zerto was, he was going to do that? He's learned how to pivot. He's learned how to box.
Yes,
Cruz, he's
but
He
going to
no,
do
he
that.
yes,
killed
Dave's
listen,
going
Lenny.
to
yes,
He
turn
he
David
did
all
did
it.
do
night.
that.
Benicio
Yes,
Sumo
that's
And
moved
what I
was
mean.
a
Lenny.
But
I
body
mean, he
bag,
He
boxed
boxed like a retard.
a
He
heavy
boxed like
bag
a
on legs.
complete.
That's what we saw,
But
He
the
right?
bad thing
boxed
Jay,
about
like an
it though
Heavy
absolute
is
bag.
Jay
Zerto
jackass
had
fought
in
a
that fight.
different fight
his
though. So
number,
you're right
but
now. Right now it's like apples to oranges, bro. That's a whole
But
different
why
fight
did
he
hang
fought
on? Why did he fight a different fight? That's the question. Why?
okay. So why
because
did
he
he
tried to
fight
bully
Zerto
him.
instead of fighting Better BF? What the fuck? Why is he scared of a fucking old man? Why is he scared of a 40-year-old, bruh? Come on
So
now,
yeah,
bruh. Guys,
look,
come on
Jai's
now,
got
man.
great
He
movement.
ain't
He's
talking
athletic,
this.
but I think the defensive holes Dave's going to exploit. Jai's not got great
What
defense.
you,
You saw David.
He
You
can
saw what
David
David
don't
was
even
doing
exploit
have
though.
in
great
the
David,
pocket.
defense. He's
he can
barely
David
even
got
exploit
there.
it, but here's the
Did
bad
you
thing
see
about
what David was doing in the
here's
Hey,
the
pocket?
bad
David
thing
got
about it
two
though,
left
which
feet,
I'm
bro.
Mirage.
That
Come on
David's
now.
that
not good
dirty,
at
that
cutting off the
dirty
ring.
shit. The hooks on the inside, man.
David got two
You
left
Nasty
gotta
come
feet,
shit.
come
you
bro.
gotta
forward, fighter like
understand this
Glenn
though,
Nasty
and
shit.
land a
Mirage.
shot on Jai.
David isn't the best at cutting off the ring. He's not that good at it.
He's
He's
not. He don't even have footwork like that. Like
I
what the
don't
he.
think
fuck,
he's going to need to
bro?
chase
Got two
Jai for
left
tire,
feet.
man, around the ring. I don't. I think you
I'm
got that
not saying
wrong.
he has to, but Jai is gonna move and pivot. He's gonna throw check hooks when David tries to brawl him. Like,
For a while, he'll do that for a while, but eventually
but
he's
one
going
thing
to
you're right
bang.
about though,
He's going to
if Jai runs
bang.
out of
You know
stamina,
what,
then David
Mirage?
could win. David could
He's
Yeah.
win if
got
Jai
to
runs out of
fight his butt.
stamina.
You
Okay,
and
it's
I
only
know that
no. Let's say
the,
this. Let's say this. David's only out to win is getting on the inside. That's his only out to win. That's the only. That's his only. That's the only out that he has. And the reason I'm just not convinced that's going to work is because you're going to get hit coming in. You still give. Look, Mirage isn't going to like this. David didn't do anything new on Saturday. He did the same shit that he always does. Tim Bradley's killing me with this shit that yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay to fight a sparring partner that you have over 100 rounds with both shoulders facing him doing shoe shines. That's not going to work on Jai. Like it's not. I don't think it's going to work on Bivol if you even do end up fighting him. Like I don't think it's going to work on him either. You know,
look
I
at
mean that's
Jai's last fight. Look at Jai's
Yeah,
last
that's
fight
true.
against Glanton. A come forward guy that's a pressure fighter. Didn't land a hand, didn't land a shot on him. Jai walked out of that fight like he could go another 12 rounds. He looked like he hadn't even been in a fight. Glanton looked like he had another nose growing on his forehead.
listen. The American boxing scene is so warped. They don't even realize that Brandon Glanton is actually a good rehearsal for David Benavidez because Brandon is a durable pressure fighter. What's David? Because he ain't no motherfucking pure boxer. David gets on his toes. He
I'm not gonna
gets on
lie.
his
I'm not
toes,
gonna lie to you,
uses the
Jules. You're
jab.
right
David
though.
hasn't seen
Can
his
David
toes.
fight
Yo,
him back?
I'm not gonna lie,
Can
Jules. You're
David
right about
fight him
that. I
back?
didn't even think about it like that about Brandon Glann being a good reversal. I didn't even think about
He's
that.
a good rehearsal for David.
Yeah.
You want to? This is a guy you hit him hard. He doesn't go away. He keeps putting pressure on you. I keep hearing about I literally saw somebody say something about Jai's cardio. I'm like, bro, Jai just went like 12-0. What a fucking guy doesn't want to go away. He didn't get
It,
tired. He didn't start getting hit.
Yeah, I remember Knockout Boxing was saying some shit like that. Like, bro, stop that goofy shit, bro.
like what the fuck? Like, huh? And it's another one of those. This reminds me of Crawford and Spence because it's the same mindset that look, you guys have already made a decision. to not be objective. You've already made a decision to not be objective. You've decided that you're going to back David, whatever's whatever. If I feel like at some point Jai's not looking good and he might get beat, I'm just going to say that. Simples. I'm just going to say that, you know? But he's not there yet. And you guys are too close in age, unfortunately for you, David. You guys are too close in age for that to happen.
Yeah, that's
you can't,
true. And I was
Hey,
saying,
hey, yo, Jules.
Good.
I was gonna ask you, what do you call it? That breakdown I sent you on Jai. What you think about that breakdown I sent you on what I did about Jai? Fucking film.
I gotta watch. I'm a really busy guy. I jerk off a lot. I'll watch it when I get a chance.
In other words, Jules doesn't watch your shit. That's what
I watch people shit, but today was a gym day. It's a very listen. I got a full schedule. I got a wife, 2 kids. I cooked 4 fucking pieces of salmon today, Mirage.
Damn.
With fettuccine.
Not bad, not bad.
All right, I still did 3 videos, and I still did a fucking live. I'm fucking really.
I don't
busy
question
guy.
your work ethic.
For real.
I don't question your work ethic, especially when it comes to talking shit about David
Drop the
Benavidez.
kid a super chat. Putting in the fucking word.
Fucking, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to motherfucking George. Tina Turner, bro, that's not hard. Tina Turner. Tina Turner. What are you talking about?
Hey, yo, Mirage,
Turner, bro.
who's your other favorite boxer besides David? I actually want to ask you that question. Who's your other favorite boxer? Mirage?
Moses Atamu. I like him.
He's pretty good.
I like Boots, man. I actually like Boots. I need to see the next step. And this will be interesting, his next fight. Boots, the type of style, you know. I like Jai, man. I like fucking Jai. I like Jai.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I like Jai, man.
Stop the bullshit. There's only
Let me
one
just
dude that
confirm-
ever defends Jai.
No, let me just confirm with Jules. If David and Jules do fight, who are you going to pick? You're picking Jai, I assume?
Yeah, for the next, I would say for the next year and a half to 2 years, I've got Jai because that's how I do
So
it.
I'm getting worried you might pick David
how-
again, you know? So I just want to confirm.
Nah, I didn't know because I'd pick Jai. Barring illness, injury, unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah, things changing, barring
year-
things sort of changing.
Well, thank God he's in
next
the
year and a
PI, the
half.
UFC PI.
I mean, because that's the way it is. Like next year and a half, 2 years, Jai. As long as you keep doing how you're doing, yeah, I got Jai. Next year and a half, 2 years, and you know, you check back with me in another 2.5 years. If it takes that long, it shouldn't. It really
I mean,
shouldn't.
by 2
because-
years, I think Jai's gonna move up to heavy.
You know what?
No.
As long as my asshole points to the ground, that fight's not happening.
That's crazy.
But Carl, if let's say for example, Bivol wants to fight. Let's say fights Baturbia for the third fight, or he doesn't want to fight David. David's never going to find a dance partner, and the odds of him fighting Jai are
You know
really
who
going to
David's
go up.
fighting next? He just fought Bivol's leftovers. Before that was Better BFs. I think he's gonna fight Jai's leftovers. One of Jai's leftovers.
No, I think
No.
I
think it's Mikhailian.
it could be Mikhailian. It could be. The only hindrance is if you tried to fight Mikhailian, remember David wants to fight on pay-per-view exclusively. He wants to fight on pay-per-view exclusively. With Zerto, you had the angle of it being Cinco de Mayo, right? Big for the Mexicans. You fight Noel Mikhailian on a pay-per-view, yet nobody's buying that shit. Nobody is buying that shit.
Hey, yo,
So
Jules,
does he fight Mikhailian? Does he? Like, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I mean, is the BBC going to put the money up? Are they going to put the money up? Like, I mean, I know Mikhailian's not going to take much, but I think Zuffa's going to throw a fair bit of money at Mikhailian to get that belt off him.
And that's what I'm hoping for, because you saw with Rick Reno and Jai Opataya and Noel at the Zuffa launch, they did a face-off. So there must have already been a dialogue, like Noel Mikhailian just fucking happened to be in the neighborhood and he just fucking happened to be at the Apex. He lives in Miami, this guy. The Apex is in what, in Vegas? Yeah, you were there on business. The same as Caleb. You were there on business. So I'm hoping, look, you know, Nick Khan, Mark Shapiro, y'all got a lot of money. Y'all need to start using it for more than overpaying fucking Conor Ben. Like, no, get Jai another belt. It's not hard. Cut the fucking check and get him another belt.
Yeah, that's true.
I just for the life of
Jules,
me,
what do you call it? In the next year, let's say David sits out. You think Jai could possibly get McCallion and then try to go after what's his name, Vidal Riley?
Vidal
From the
won't fight
IBF?
him. Vidal
You
won't
don't
fight
think?
him.
he won't
But I
fight him.
think it could
Vidal
Can
happen
I
won't.
can I just
No,
can I just say
let me Vidal. The reason that Vidal won't fight him, it's not just your regular boxing shit. I mean, like, no, Vidal does not beat this guy. Like, no, absolutely not. But also, Vidal is not a guy who's strapped for cash. He's literally a social media influencer who moonlights as a boxer. He's got more than one arm of revenue coming in to where he doesn't need to sacrifice his health or his belt to Jai Opataya. Like he won't fight him.
That's not
Like
good.
he's not gonna do it. Like listen, I don't think he's gonna fight David either. Yeah, he's gonna be the odd man out. He's not gonna fight David either. I'm just telling you, he's not.
That's not good.
So can I just say that so the IBF is now vacant and the mandatory looks like Vidal Riley and Matus Masternak, right? They look like they're going to fight for the IBF strap. Jai Opataya then becomes the mandatory for that belt, back for the IBF again. Jai Opataya is also ranked number 3 in the WBC, and he's ranked number 1 in the WBO and number 1 in the WBA. So if there's not a mandatory force there, I don't know what the fuck what we're talking about.
No,
man.
listen, I'll tell you, Ozzy. I'll tell you, the BA and the BC, forget them. Also, forget the IBF because he has the Zuffa belt. To get back in the mix to win an IBF title, you're gonna have to drop that Zuffa belt, and I don't think he's gonna do
You
that.
think the WBO could fuck with them or not?
Yes, that's who I
That's the
advise he
only one
goes
I could
to.
see. I
Well,
only did
when
see them.
when
hang on,
well,
I
let me
just
say
wanna
this.
ask-
Let me say this. Go ahead.
How long was the WBO in before they were actually a sanctioning body, a recognised sanctioning body? Was it 20 years?
About 20 years, about 15 to 20 years before they actually, and that was because the UK guys started bringing in money. So it's like, all right, we're going to have to fuck with them. But in a nutshell, yeah, about 15, 20 years before they were actually accepted as a recognizable sanctioning body.
Now, I don't think the Zuffa belt right now as it stands is a trinket, piece of shit. Yeah, there's lots of diamonds. And I just want to say, like, I'm not a type of guy that wears purses or fur coats or paints my fingernails or gives a fuck about what the color or design of a belt is. But I can tell you that belt that everyone hates the color of, it doesn't have any gold. Like, all of a sudden, boxing fans are fucking fashion designers. I just want to say that belt for now doesn't mean shit. That belt for now. That belt for now doesn't mean shit. But I don't think it's going to take them 15 to 20 years, bro. And you know why? Because they have something that the other sanctioning bodies don't have. It's called backing.
Listen,
it's called money.
Listen, the thing is that the legitimacy, boxing is a weird thing. Something random but this happens all throughout boxing. Something will happen. Something could happen randomly, not planned. You don't see it coming, and all of a sudden people accept it. The only way that I could see people accepting that belt is depending on who holds it, who fights for it. It's the only way. The opinion of the people has to change, and the only way that happens is with matchmaking. That's the only way it happens. If there's a fighter that people all of a sudden they like him and they fuck with him and they watch him and he's got a Zuffa belt, maybe then. But right now, just based on the current talent pool and what they're working with, okay, well, this is not going to happen right now with these mid-level fighters. Maybe after the Olympics, maybe if you sign somebody, right? Like, it has to be something like that, because right now, because you signed Brandon Lee and Sergey Derevianchenko and Richardson Hitchens, bro, nobody cared about Hitchens when he had an IBF title. They're not going to care about him if he's got a Zuffa belt.
And you know what? I'll be honest, Jules. I can't for the life of me work out why the fuck they're going to sign a guy like Devin Haney.
No. I mean, I don't know. I don't see that. I mean, it has to be coming from fucking Turkey's pockets, because Paramount Plus gave a certain amount, and
I think
that certain amount kind of seems like the amount that Devin wants. So it's like that they're gonna throw up their whole budget. The whole
no. Listen, if they're telling the truth, these are the Haneys. In case you haven't realized that they don't have any compunction about exaggerating or lying. I remember when they lied about Subriel Matias, saying they called Nick Khan about making the fight only for the world to find out Nick Khan doesn't manage Subriel Matias. He said that shit on camera.
Oh, wait, he did?
Nick Khan doesn't. Yes, he said, "Yo, we called Nick Khan. We trying to do the Matias fight." And then Matias's real manager came out like, Nick Khan don't got nothing to do with us. What the fuck you calling him for about us? And Bill did the speed talking shit. This was on the Boxing Voice. He did the speed talking shit where he tries to gloss over. You know, you just got caught in a lie. Fuck you calling Nick Khan about Subriel Matias for, bro? The point being, the point is, they could be lying because $100 million, I could tell you right now, listen, if you do go to Zuffa, that is not coming out of their budget. Paramount ain't giving you that. Oh, fucking way. For your boring ass?
Yeah, I don't see.
Hell no.
Ayo, Joel's
I
like,
don't
well,
see
why
Dana
would
doing that.
Paramount give him $100 million just to fight Connor Ben, Hitch,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
possibly Tio?
My guy, they wouldn't. They would.
Isn't that the
If
budget though?
No, listen. That's that. Paramount is not giving those fucking guys $100 million. No, if somebody's putting up, and fuck you, Turkey, if that is you doing that, that's a fucking waste. You could take a fraction of that money and spend it at featherweight instead of paying this boring asshole to be on my fucking television, bro.
Yep.
You know what, Jules? In all honesty, if Devin Haney does sign with Zuffa and they have him on a Zuffa card, I hope and pray to God that referee won't let that motherfucker clinch, and he's going to say, "Come on, action, let's go, fucking fight, you cunt."
There is only one virtue. There is only one virtue, and you're gonna know it when you hear it, to signing Devin Haney to Zuffa, and that is brand power and brand recognition. Devin is a recognized fighter. He is a known, decorated fighter. And if you can bring him to Zuffa, that increases your brand power, which Drew highlighted. It is true. All these Americans that have all these narratives against Zuffa are going to have to change their story if Devin goes over there and if Shakur follows him and Tio and the other American fighters. The thing is, if it costs $100 million fucking dollars to do it, bro, that's paying Bugatti prices for a Toyota Corolla. That's what you'd be doing.
Yo,
those
Jules,
are Bugatti prices. Good.
That 100 million, what he could have done, he could have made a card out of it. And let's say I fuck around and think right now. You could do, let's say, fucking all the featherweights, bro. You get like 25 million of that.
My guy, with $100 million, you could do tournaments at feather, super feather, and lightweight. With $100 million, and you still wouldn't even fucking need the whole $100 million. Do you know what these fucking featherweights get paid, bro? Do you think somebody's pay? Do you think somebody? Do you fucking think somebody's sitting around paying Angelo Leo $3 million?
You could
probably, you know him.
You probably spent at that
Jason
card
Maloney. Jason Maloney in his last fight got paid
20 million a card. 20 million a card.
Jason Maloney got 85,000.
Do you think somebody's sitting around giving fucking Rafael Espinoza $2-3 million to fight fucking Arnold Kagai south of the border? Brody, you could have made a tournament. Yo, dog, with $30 million, I'm talking about a $30 million budget. You could have made tournaments at fucking feather and super feather and maybe lightweight without even using the whole $30 million. So if you fuck that off for this fucking weirdo, yo, dog, you fucking up, bro. Yeah, you fucking up. That's ridiculous.
And honestly, the bad part about it too, 100 million, you possibly could have used a little bit of money for a heavyweight tournament too, if you wanted to. A heavyweight tournament for Bryn.
Shout out. Let me read the super chat. Shout out to SSS. Mirage, you're not a Jai hater, but you for sure are a Benavidez dick rider. Well, that much we know. Shout out to Deed. Navarrete versus Inoue. Who gets the W? Look, I love Inoue, but Navarrete's too big. He's too big. SSS says Mirage. Without the IBF's 10-pound second day weigh-in clause, Jai will come in rejuvenated and dig David a grave if he weighs in at 200. Yeah, that's actually true. Now that Jai doesn't have the IBF, he's not subject to that weight cap. I forgot about that. A shout out to Jessica
and you know what,
Sada.
Jules? Even in that Zuffa belt, he's still rehydrated under the IBF rules.
He still performed and didn't get fucking tired. and he still performed. So imagine without the weight cap. Shout out to motherfucking Jesse Quesada. Jay, I caught a TBV playback from Monday, man. Nessa's glazing David Benavidez crazy. He said a mega stadium fight between David versus Wilder next, that David shouldn't waste his time at light heavyweight if he beats both Russians. Look, I got a lot of respect and love for Nesta because he's one of the originators of this content created thing for boxing, right? But Nesta's playing the game, and so is Showbiz. That they are. They're going to focus on Americentric fighters, right? And they're going to put them on a pedestal because they want to do what moves the needle for them. I don't do that. I'm not knocking them. They're great guys. Do whatever you do. But I pay attention to my demographics. I firmly believe that my subscriber base is different than theirs. I believe theirs is mostly American. Mine's is only 40% American. Then another large chunk comes from the United Kingdom. Another chunk comes from Australia. Then the chunks get smaller and smaller. Mexico,
Japan,
Europe, Germany, a very small number of Japanese. And it's only when I'm talking about Inoue. I don't pander to the Americans. I don't even fucking like the Americans. I don't even fucking
I
like
don't blame you.
I think Bill is lying. Bill is lying anyway because remember that we reported that Devin had supposed to got like a $63 million deal with Turkey. That was reported a while ago. And what happened to that? No, nothing happened. So now here we go. Yeah. All right. So now Devin has no choice but to go to Zuffa if he really on a money train like that. He has no choice but then Bill's gonna hype it up and say, "Okay, I'm gonna tell you, you're getting $100 million for just to get the people hype and happy."
Like the Shield shit. Clarissa's not getting $2 million a fight, fellas. Like, no, she's not. But you could come out and you could say that so that if somebody stepped to me and they want to use me, my minimum is 2, right? With Devin, oh yeah, you probably signed a little $25 million deal. Let's multiply that times 4 and run on X. Everybody, right?
Jules, what do you call? I was thinking about it, bro. They need to bring back that Super Series, bro. I miss that Super Series. That's
bro, I love the 2 years that Turkey LL Sheik has been in the sport of boxing. I've been beating the drum to bring tournaments back. The first season of the World Boxing Super Series, especially bantamweight and cruiser, that shit was straight lit, bro. From the beginning, when the Cuban fought the Russian Hammer and knocked his ass, they like, this shit is wow. Like, what's going on here? That shit was lit.
What about Josh?
Hey, Jules,
do you like that one or no?
Hey, Jules, do you remember who the favorite was who the odds-on favorite was in the Cruiserweight Super Series?
Wasn't it Breeze?
Yeah.
Or was
no. It was no. The odds-on favorite, the 2 top seeds in the tournament going in from the beginning was Inoue and Usyk. The surprises were that nobody expected Nonito to make it to the end. By then, he was already perceived as being old and past it. Nobody thought he would be the one in the final. It didn't help that Ryan Burnett fucked up his back. I remember that there were people saying, Nonito's probably going to get eliminated in the first quarter because, everybody thought he was old. But he proved like he gave Inoue the hardest fucking fight of his career. If Inoue walking around looking surprised right now, that's because of fucking Nonito. He got that one eye where he always looks surprised. That's Nonito's left hook. And the other top seed was Usyk. Now, Usyk, while being the top seed because of his amateur pedigree, it was that tournament that showed everybody like, this fucking dude is a bad fucking dude. This dude is the dude. Now it's super middle. You remember, less people paid attention to super middle because there was only one belt to fight for, and it was George's belt. There's only one belt to fight for. It wasn't like the other divisions where there was at least more than one belt to fight for. But
didn't David decline that, right? Didn't David decline his invitation to Super 6 Series?
Zerto declined it and David declined it. Zerto declined it and David declined it.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
Now look, fellas, on that note, I'm fucking going to sleep. I got fucking gym in the morning. I might do an afternoon talk. I'll see y'all on the next one.
Have a good
I
one,
got
bro.
Wally by TKO.
Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Have a good one, boys.